I got one question. It's been burning. When I got asked to do this, I'm asking Aiden this. Are you ready? What do you think, truly, of Jen McCabe?
Come on. It's like an open question. She's a cunt, for one thing. She's a cunt. She's a huge, and she's going to jail. She's going to jail. But oh my, and Jen, I'ma be there when your ass gets sentenced. I'ma be there, and this is the last face you're ever gonna see. Is this one smiling back at you with all my teeth? Something you wouldn't know about. So get ready, girl, cause that shit's coming.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, there we go. Sorry. It's been a really long time since I've gone live. I just spent $44 on this bullshit, and I haven't been into streaming for a while. I know that I should make a return. We're trying to raise money for the fund for the lawsuits against Karen Reed and Turtle Boy. Yeah. There are reasons to go live, and I probably should have planned this better, but I didn't. I highly doubt we'll get very many viewers at all, which is fine. But for those of you that made it, don't tell me I'm still going out. No way. No way. Am I really still going out? I can't. Oh my God. What is the internet broken? Oh, no, I'm not. My sound is good. I was like, this is unbelievable if that's the case. We're good. All right. I'm waiting for Lydia and Boomer to get here. We're having a conversation, and space is ridiculous. It is the worst. I don't want anything to do with spaces anymore, I think. I'm just kidding. We're breaking up, but it wasn't working, so we had to come over here. And it's a little bit obnoxious because I like spaces. It's easy, right? I can send them a little, invite to their Twitter account to join, and they can join and we can talk, and that's great. And in this case, I guess I could post the link in the chat here everywhere. So hold on, Lydia, that I'm going to put a link in, and you're just going to click it. Not hearing a thing. Don't tell me you're not hearing a thing. Anyway, if anyone wants to talk, then it's my internet. I have full internet here. My Wi-Fi is completely full. I'm sitting in my car on my phone just because I, did not set up to stream at all. And it drives my kid batshit to hear me blabbing. So I like to, both of them really. So I like to give them a heads up if I'm going to do it. And I just haven't been doing it for a while because they don't love it. I'm loud. Okay. Holly hears everything. Oh, we got Boomer. Gonna add him to the stage. Yo.
How's it going?
All right.
Oh, Melted Danzig. I remember it.
Yeah. Maybe it's just Twitter's having problems all the way around today. I
Oh,
don't know.
it's everything. Now, I don't want to get everybody turned on at once too quickly, but some science. Carosa probably knows this. There was mass ejections of solar flares from the sun, and it's causing geomagnetic storms right now. It's going to go till at least December 4th. It's screwing with everything.
He said ejections.
Is this real or is this some like burnout?
No, it's real.
All right,
No. No, I didn't get this from some weird message board. I mean, like, look it up.
Did Alex Jones tell you this?
Yeah, all right. The lizard people are real. Damn it, they're turning our frog scary.
So we're back on YouTube, sort of. That's cool.
We are.
Hey, YouTube.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess we have to just start over. I guess we just have to start over at the very beginning. And I was trying to explain on Spaces that as someone who is a bit of a Turtle Boy historian at this point, I followed the lore for years. I've touched the poo a lot. This is not new, what's happening, this upburst in his personal drama, but every time that it plays through, I can't look away. It's like a train wreck. It's equally entertaining, even though like the outline is always the same, like the same things are going to happen. They always happen in such a new and fun way. You know, it's like predictable, but exciting. Primeval. I mean, I would love to talk to Chance again, but I don't know if this topic is good for him on this. Yeah, talking about someone who's cycles of personal drama and turmoil. That is something that Chance Wilkins and Turtle Boy very much have in common.
At levels of delusion, I'd say they're equal. They're matched.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So. For those that are uninitiated, I'll just run through it real quick. Turtle Boy has broken up with yet another one of his floozies. And as always, even though I know that I shouldn't deep down, I have sympathy for this one, just like I do all of them. Because
collecting strays.
I'm not. I haven't. Nope. I feel bad from afar.
Yes, it's sympathy.
I feel bad
as
maybe it's a little empathy because I can empathize. I know how much it sucks, right? But not enough to be like, hey, like, you know, let me babysit for you and help you out. You know, like no more of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we know how that goes. Yeah.
Nobody delete comments. Mr. B is complaining that his comment got deleted.
Hold on, let me check.
Nobody delete anything.
Oh man, YouTube
you know the
auto
rules.
censors real hardcore. I don't know if everyone's aware of that, but it'll
there
censor
are
you
on
real
the
time.
On the landscape side, there are no deleted comments. So I don't know if he's in the mobile side. I can't see that.
I don't know.
Because you're dual streaming on 2 streams right now.
Very Big Dad Giga Chad says, I wonder if the FKR people who now all of a sudden think TV is awful when they realize when will they realize Kate was right the whole damn time?
Yeah,
probably never. I mean, they're never going to concede that, but I was right because I've just I've seen this. I have a collection of lolcows, as we all know, and I follow and I understand them. You know, I'm a huge fan of all these people. I really am. And so, you know, I see the same things playing out over and over and over again. So like I called from the beginning as soon as his relationship went public with Meredith. And that's a little bit new, right? So usually what he does is he gets the girls and he convinces them that I'm going to hunt them down and ruin their lives if anyone knows about them. And that's how he keeps them secret. Now, in reality, I am not going to do that. I am not going to do that. I feel bad for them.
He is.
Right. But the real reason that he wants them hidden is because he is disgusting. He's a deviant and he is running an online sex cult, right? Which at this point is, you know, Meredith broke his brain enough that he's just like unabashedly like he's streamed for, I think, 20 hours over the last 4 days,
Roughly.
like just insane, like marathon 5-hour streams. This guy's just off the fucking wall, little beady eyes, all bloodshot, face looking all puffy, like all fucked. I don't think he slept more than probably like 5 hours in the last 72, just judging from his face, right? So like he's on one, right? And he's just like, fuck it, everybody send me nudes.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's a new. The spiral is getting further out there.
Yeah, he's leaning right into it.
Yeah, when I heard him the other night say, so it's kind of a red flag if I haven't sent you my dick, it means I'm not that into you. I send my dick to everyone. I was just like, wow, this is new.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just glad that, and I was trying to say this before, because, like, of course, whenever Aiden gets caught being a disgusting little, fraudulent sex pest, he fakes a hacking. It's like, it's canon at this point, okay? Like, this is just what's going to happen. Aiden's going to embarrass himself because he's a mess of a human being, and then a fake hacking is going to happen. It's just like, the happening. We're on like episode 3 of that now.
I know, but I think that's why Meredith keeps calling him a boomer, is because he keeps talking about getting hacked.
No, it's a lie though, Lydia. I'm telling you.
I know it's a lie, but I'm saying she's saying he's acting like a boomer.
Yeah, I mean, but like play acting, because the thing is that
like not been hacked.
No, but he knows it. That's the thing, is like he knows it. Yeah. He's known it. Maybe the first hacking, like, well, he claimed to be hacked one time early on. It was a whole thing with my local police or whatever, and he insisted that I hacked his Facebook because, like, long story short, I had an order on him at the time, and he popped off the mouth and said something real pointed, real, like, he stepped way the fuck over the line, right? And so he assumed that I saw it, and I hadn't until after he had already gone to the police and been like, I didn't write this, my Facebook was hacked. He did some other shit. I go into the station, they bring that up, and I'm like, I haven't even fucking seen that yet. But yeah, so like he spins around, tries to do the whole hacking thing, doesn't work out, whatever. Like, he's not violated. I didn't get charged with a fake computer hacking. Like, everything is good in the world, I guess. That was the first time. And so I know in that one, he knew he wasn't hacked, right? Because obviously he knows what he's fucking doing. The second hacking with the whole Leah Janduso thing, maybe he thought he was hacked at some point. Although that's when he sent the naked pictures of his kids to who he thought was Andrew Brain, the hacker, and all that. So like that shows him kind of scheming and conniving, trying to like bolster his claim and get the police to pay attention to him. So maybe not. By now, he definitely knows he's not hacked. And I think what brings me back to what Corrosive had said, where he admitted on his stream, everyone gets dick pics from me. Whenever he gets caught sending out sexually deviant materials, his homemade porn and his jerk off videos and whatever else, he always says, I had to have been hacked because I didn't send that to anyone. And then he'll be like, but I sent it to myself on Facebook, which is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay. All right, whatever. So he always says that, but he knows in his brain that he has sent it to people and he's lying, right? And so like finally he admits out loud in probably a, sleep deprived, possibly drug induced panic stream state after like 15 hours of this shit, everyone gets dick pics from me. And that is fucking true. That is fucking true. I have never, ever, ever had anything like that come into my possession without like 16 other people having it around the same time too. And luckily with the last sex video thing, I declined having it sent to me because I've gotten smarter. Now it's like if someone says that, like, great, I'm going to take you at your word. It's consistent. In this case, they provided some redacted screenshots. It was enough for me to go, yep, this is legit, right? But you don't even really need that, because if someone starts talking about a leaked sex video in Aiden, it is very, very fair based on his history to just assume that it is true.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just take 1 second for housekeeping? Everybody, if you're stuck in portrait and want horizontal or vice versa, if you just go to the Masshole main YouTube page, you can pick which format you want. It's a live dual stream. They're both identical. The only difference is who's in what chat. Carry on.
I don't know why it did that.
Because it's a new feature in StreamYard that if you don't turn it off, it will by default stream both ways.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Is this what your $44 gets you?
Yes, you have to select it when you set up the stream. You have to select it in the boxes underneath. There's a drop down. You can go portrait, landscape, or both.
You are the best.
Thank you. So here we are. So,
I'd like to comment on something real quick if I could.
Sure.
Let's take Turtle Boy at his word, and the new sex tape, whatever you want to call it, there was not recent. It was old. He said he liked to keep it around. Right now, I think this might be his craziest. No, I know. I'm just saying. If you were to believe him, that would be one of the craziest goddamn deviancies I've ever heard of. He says this lady put him in jail, tried to put him in jail. He's got PTSD from her. He says, right? This lady gave me PTSD.
She sued her. She sued him.
Right. He's deathly afraid of her. Yet he's got homemade porn of her. That's old, air quotes. Okay, we're going to, for this exercise, we're going to believe what he says, right? Then that means that a woman he is deathly afraid of that gave him PTSD, he wants to hold on to that porn because he felt in the mood to whack off to it. That's got to be one of the weirdest sexual urges I've ever heard in my life.
Not
like
only
the
that.
scary the bitch, the hard on. Come on, man.
I can't come unless I'm having a flashback.
Let me make another point. Last
That's what I'm
night, he
saying.
literally held up a USB hard drive and he said, this is my extraction. It's right here on this. That is how
Right.
you move files from one thing to another. You use the hard drive. You don't send it to yourself in Facebook Messenger and then claim someone who had control of your account stole it.
Dude,
Not only that, but
no.
Facebook will automatically flag that crap.
I don't believe for a second that she stole it. I believe that as soon as he got it, he probably was like, you take this, download it, and start going through it for me because we need to find gotchas on the government, right? Like, make sure there's nothing bad in there. Like,
the extraction, yeah.
I don't, like, this guy is so wanton with his personal information. It's insane. Like, he always has, like, a little group of internet hanger-ons, whoever's the most loyal and, vigorously patting him on the ass at the time, and that becomes his inner circle. He doesn't know these people. I think Jen Altman, he's probably known the longest, honestly, at this point. But
Right.
I mean, he doesn't know any of these people, but they become like his inner circle very quickly. These are my friends, right? And he just fucking runs his mouth about everything.
Well, he said that today, that his entire theory is that if he gives the phone extraction to someone else, no matter what they do with it, it's fine.
That
So
was, to be
thinks
specific, he was talking about
it
Lindsay's.
absolves him of legal responsibility.
Well, that's not his, though.
Yeah, that was Lindsay's extraction he was talking
Right,
about.
but I'm saying he thinks that if he has discovery and he gives it to somebody else and they do whatever they want with it, then it's not his problem, which is not the truth.
But with his discovery, his extraction, we know that Meredith was running accounts for him. We know that she was running the backfield for him. We know she was doing legal digging for him. That's how they met up in the first place. I would bet money, were I a betting man, I would actually bet money on the fact that he handed her the extraction and said, yeah, go find this. I know it's in there. Go find it. Let's see if it says what I think it says. And had her digging through that thing on his behalf because he was too busy setting up the Wilbur and doing all this other crap on the side and fundraising to work on his own defense stuff.
Well, we'll get back to that because that's another good point that I think I put it in a post, but I wanted to touch on here a little bit later is like, what the fuck is he actually doing all day? So just put a pin in that. But yeah, I definitely think he outsourced it and that's how she has it. I think it's fair to assume that, who knows though? It could be her. It could be he pissed off a couple of his fucking paralegals. He's been talking shit about them in the course of talking shit about the ex-girlfriend now. So like, I mean, he just kicks he like hands over this information and then just kicks the hornet's nest. And then when he gets stung, it's like, oh my God, I'm such a victim. And he's got all his like, cult members. It's interlopers. Oh, you're such a victim. He's not. He's not. These are entirely self-made problems. And you know what? Like, I'm a talker. Corrosive knows. Boomer knows. Even Lydia knows. I talk a lot, right? I don't have to worry about it though, because I'm not doing shady shit. You know what I mean? Like,
The
if you
queen
were
of
to
the
get
sharing violation.
yeah. I mean, I talk a lot, but like, there's nothing there. He doesn't live the same lifestyle. There's always something horrific hiding right below the surface, and he is so careless in spite of this.
And you've also got to remember, there's another factor at play here, which is that currently he and Karen are in a Mexican standoff. They both have very large weapons pointed at each other's heads going, I dare you to blink first. So now somebody who has knowledge of all his inner workings spinning off and being a loose cannon, that is a huge liability for him, because he has no idea if she's talking to Karen or what she's telling Karen.
I think she is. I'm glued to her Twitter right now. I'm not even gonna front, right? So I'm like reading all her posts. So I love it. There's just so much tea and it is piping hot. Right?
Yeah, or whether, there's a possibility Karen realizes the writing is on the wall now that her case has been kicked to federal and it's not going to get nearly as much attention as they were hoping for here. She may decide to cut bait, and he's the bait. And he's sitting there going, can I throw her at something and cut a deal for myself? And they're both waiting for the other one to blink. And she is now a loose cannon and all that. And that's got to be messing with his head.
Drama Kitty thinks that she is lying about Karen. I don't know. I think that Karen, from what I've observed, is definitely looking for backup against Aiden. And again, I'm not co-signing Karen Reed either, but I can understand that and that feeling. I have felt it. It is very overwhelming because you have a guy who is essentially going to kamikaze bomb your entire life and reputation, right? And so for someone like Karen Reed, that's got to be pretty daunting, especially because, as Corrosive so eloquently put, it's like the Cold War over there. They're pointing pretty big nukes at each other with the legal stuff, right? And Aiden has already threatened to turn her over to the police once or twice before, right? Once in 2024. And then it sounds like he was making some vague threats again, more recently. So,
He's also started saying the quiet part out loud on Twitter. If you pay attention to his responses, he said, if she thought something happened, why didn't she knock on the door? Stuff like that. Things he never would have said before.
Back right now. Yeah.
No, he's totally fucking with her. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Katie asks, what is your objective thought on Meredith's behavior? Do you really?
She's nuts.
I think, I think that, like, but on the other flip side of this, right? Like, he is so unfaithful. And so you've got her showing these letters where he narcissist love bombed her in the beginning, right? Promised her the world and all that. And obviously, and I said the same thing about Lindsay, and Lindsay is also nuts. So it doesn't, I just think that it's unfair. Right? Her behavior is definitely, in some instances, like the watch thing, sus. Sus. But is it that irrational when that she's being cheated on the entire time and gaslit and lied to? It's sort of like, I think it's unfair in that, first of all, it's obviously private. It's private. And it was dragged out. Whatever. Now it's out there.
Kate, hold on a second. I think it is completely irrational for a woman to fall in love with a guy who just went into prison for what he was charged with and what he went to prison to, especially because his previous shit was public as well. If you could go into a relationship with him and think that this was going to be normal, you had to be insane. Blind and deaf people knew what Aiden was up to.
Yeah.
He had to know.
I'm just saying. You're
it's chicken or the egg, man. It's chicken or the egg. Was she nuttier and squirrel shit before or after being cheated on? I'd say she was always nutty. It's like,
well, considering her past history with her previous ex, I'm gonna say it's a long-term thing. Aiden's problem now is he dated a female him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But that being said, the stuff that Aiden is trying to pull out as evidence that she's insane, I think is definitely inflamed by the fact that she was being cheated on and lied to and all that stuff. It's just like you're pushing somebody at their worst and then throwing that out there as evidence of their character, which, like, regardless of who it is, I don't like. I didn't like what that recording in Lindsay's apartment of Lindsay. Didn't like that either. You know what I mean? Because again, like, you're taking someone, pushing them to their absolute worst, and then putting that out on the internet for the entire public and saying, like, that's who they are as a person. And like, I can just empathize with that, because everybody has a low moment, especially in those private, the confines of your private life, right? And to have that thrown out and sort of like overshadow. I don't know Meredith. I do think that she's clinically insane, because, as I've said before, anyone who would date that man at this point is clinically insane, right? And certainly the context of, like, I am going to get into a serious relationship with my jail pen pal. Yeah, that's crazy, right? I wouldn't be proud of that one. I've done some crazy shit. I haven't always picked the best ones either. So, like, I guess that's where I'm a little bit more reticent to just, put a flamethrower to it.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hear that too. But it's
just the fact that she was quick enough when he was just sitting in the hallway, the shared hallway in her apartment building, apparently one shoe on, one shoe off, doing his hostage video. We saw him do the same thing with LG. We saw him do the same thing with Lindsay. He does these little hostage videos, so he has them for later when he wants to pull it out. And he's filming, and she pops in, and he starts filming her. And she's like, stop filming. And you heard the switch flip in him. You heard him go into his gaslight mode. And then she just smiled creepily and said, well, I'm going to call the cops and tell them you hit me. And that's when he stripped the gear. You could see his brain downshift without the clutch. And he went, oh, shit, she's as bad as I am. And from that point, that got quiet for a while. I think the new girlfriend is the issue. I think the new girlfriend went, well, we're gonna spice this up a little bit and drop some stuff out there. Because Clarice will Cholera, whatever the hell the other O'Neill broad's name is. I am fairly convinced that he's tapping that on the regular. He can say he's not, but I don't believe it.
I just think is she auditioning for the bottom bitch position? Because that's pretty much what it's turned into now. Because I'm literally like, he's alive going, everybody can send me nudes.
But dude, Turtle Boy's women are like Sith. There's always at least two. He's never with just one woman.
I know, but now it's like, we've been saying for years, he uses the blog to prey on emotionally unstable women, right? But at least before, he would kind of chuckle and be like, oh, no, I don't. That's why he's so butthurt about the whole sex cult thing, right? Because I called it what I call it once, like an alt-right sex cult. I can't even remember. Toxic alt-right sex cult, I think is what I called it, which at the time is what it was. Now it's an ACAB toxic sex cult. So he's switched positions because he's nothing if not a complete flip-flopper. But
Kate, I'd like to throw a shout out to Aaron Queen, one of your longest term trolls.
Whoa.
You've barely been live for 2 years. You've only intermediately been live, and he's back here tonight throwing exactly the same bombs he was throwing in 2019 when I met you.
I like Aaron Queen. He never misses an episode. What's up, Aaron?
He was always always in the bow chats too. That's where I remember him from.
I like him.
But I mean, like, I know Turtle Boy's been like, professing how cool it is. He's getting all these DMs and stuff. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, you have to remember that you can hear the emphysema and the wind ruffling their bingo wings when they speak.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, we've seen the Turtle Club finest show up at court. If he's getting nudes from them, that's more of a punishment than a benefit.
See, I just think it's deviant. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's deviant to essentially, he calls this his business. He's ripping people off, which is another thing I think we need to talk to. Because, like, I've seen on Twitter today a bunch of people complaining about triple billing, right? No, that can't cancel. Guys, that's been going on for 4 years. He is literally stealing from you. Like,
you pretty much have to cancel your credit card to cancel Turtle Club if you want to leave. The unsubscribe option does not work.
And I don't think that it's an accident. I don't. But on top of that, he is using it now to prey upon emotionally unstable women. And that's what they all are, right? Because they're arguing over this complete fucking loser on social media all day, right? Like, there's a few of them just constantly vying. Why? He's got tits. He's unemployed. He is like pathologically dishonest and unfaithful. He's vindictive and self-absorbed and narcissistic, right? Like, it's just like everything that a grown woman would not want in a partner, this man possesses unabashedly, openly. So anyone who would be attracted to that has problems, and that's what he's banking on.
I can't understand how any sane human being can watch him go from daddy is ready to fuck, daddy fears no man, daddy runs the world on one day to daddy is the victim of all these women and everyone on the planet, and daddy needs your help on the next. And it goes back and forth. Either you're winning or you're not winning. It doesn't get to flip flop daily like his does. I don't understand why people can't see that the emperor's clothes are imaginary.
Ugh. I mean, it's just the meltdown is epic right now. So he has apparently called. Well, I know for a fact that he called the Holden police to report Meredith for computer hacking and wiretapping, because I know who the detective is down there. So, yeah.
She labeled the recording Rhode Island. We all know that Turtle Boys get out of jail free on wiretap is, I was in Rhode Island when I recorded that. Yeah, I just jumped over to Rhode Island when I did it. So it's legal there. Yeah.
Yeah, but he just secretly recorded Karen Reed and made a big deal about how it's not harmful. There's no victim. It's not a big deal. It should be legal anyway, right?
And explained exactly how he did it and then showed how he did it, but he don't know nothing about that.
Right.
You're almost saying like he contradicts himself, right? I mean, I can't believe you guys are saying that about him.
And then computer hacking, there's Holden police. I'm not a huge fan of them personally. I am not. I don't like the Holden police at all, because they will often just capitulate to him, and then we end up in awkward positions where, like, we're at a magistrate's hearing and the magistrate is openly talking about how he's concerned that Aiden is manipulating the police against me, and that's awkward. We didn't have to get there, but they always take it there. So, but there is no way that they're not completely sick of getting fucking computer hacking police reports from this guy. And I guarantee one of the reasons that there is even a police report about any computer hacking is because he's trying to prevent any more of his phone extraction from getting out, which at this point, I would say it's been 24 hours just about since those screenshots were released. So God knows how many people have the extraction now.
I mean, it could be in a Google Drive by now.
Right.
I have no knowledge of that one way or the other. That I'm just throwing out there the same thing.
You wouldn't know nothing about that. Yeah.
No, I actually don't. I'm just pointing out that he said when he got that extraction of Lindsay's, he immediately said he put it on a Google Drive and anybody who wanted it could download it. He did it that night. Hurry up and get it before it's gone. Then that was his thing. So if it seems like people are taking pages out of his playbook. It wouldn't surprise me to find it out there.
Right, exactly. And so I'm sure that was part of why he went to the police. And the other part is I bet that Gaetani is not happy that he's sending out sex video. I mean, they hook up and immediately takes the video and sends it to people. It probably doesn't. Well, and so he's got to come up with some sort of plausible deniability because that one likes to call the cops on him too. Maybe not now. Maybe she's just going to allow him to, I mean, God knows how much she let him do and then ran right back to it. So maybe she doesn't care, but the computer hacking thing is just ridiculous. I mean, how many times they should have a court order at this point that Aiden Carney is no longer allowed to make computer hacking allegations. Like there should be a quota on it. And then it's like, all right, buddy, you're cut off. No more of this. Right. And I think he passed that quota.
Earl Pink Gray, thank you for the $49.99 super sticker.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, that's not necessary, guys. I will say, and I'm going to put a comment in, if you want to check out defendingthetruth.org, we're raising money over there to sue this disordered piece of shit, right? So he's got a large group of victims, absolutely ruined their lives with lies and the harassment and all the stuff that we talk about all the time with him. And so, with him and Karen Reed kind of going into the hot seat now, they definitely need our support. It's defendingthetruth.org. Thank you for pinning it for me. Yeah.
No, I can't pin it. What? How am I not I can't pin it.
You are a mod.
I am a mod, but I am not that kind of mod.
There are levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal.
I think only super mods can pin.
Oh,
it's fine.
I'm sorry. You're super to me, so.
Aww.
But thank you very much, Earl Pinkray. Not necessary though, guys. We're just having a conversation. I think that I need to put all of the Turtle Boy lore together in one place. I think that it's like my magnum opus here. But I think that it's time, that I do that. Because I don't think that these new people fully realize how cyclical this is and how the same things happen over and over again, which is why, getting back to Meredith, I feel like, yes, she's crazy. Anyone who dates him is definitely done some things that you're like, whoa, as have most people that are me. Whatever. I'm a loon too. But in this situation, she is being absolutely smeared and demonized when, like, he is probably 75% of the problem in this.
Is she, though?
I think she is.
I don't.
You don't think she's a...
Dude, we know the accounts that she was running on Twitter on his behalf. We know how vicious they were. The Facebook accounts that she was running for him.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like trying to peel Ma Ananda Sheila off of Osho when the whole cult fell apart in Oregon, and them both going, well, I didn't know what the other one was doing. You knew, you were part of it. You can't strip that apart and go, oh, she was just poor and misled. Nah. I'm
not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I'm sure that she probably wanted to just do this quietly. And the reason I say that is because she did for a while. They've been broken up since July. That's what they both keep saying. So they seem to agree on that. And it is now December, and he has been pushing. And I've seen people turn on her that obviously he was telling them to do it, right? So, like, I mean, as far as like this whole situation here, and like, people are using her crazy to then make the leap that she's responsible for things like hacking his computer, which just, I don't believe that to be true. I've seen no evidence of that. I think that the simpler explanation that is backed up by history and a very clear cycle of behavior that this man exhibits is that he is sending all this shit to people and then it is leaking out that way. And, in some cases, she may be the one leaking it, sure. But that doesn't mean that she hacked him to get it or stole it or committed any crimes.
I mean, I think he basically told the truth the other day when he talked about the fact that he had taken some of his fake Facebook accounts. And look, can we just point out why it's weird for a guy to have 10 or 12 fake Facebook accounts, most of them female names, so that he can troll chats and do crap like that's just weird to begin with. That is a paranoid mind that has 10 or 20 sock accounts on every platform just so they can go attack people or bolster their own comments, number one. But he's well known for handing them to whoever his flying monkey is at the moment and saying, here, you run this account, go do your thing. And then he gets all frazzled. I don't know if there might be a little recreational substance involved. I don't know. We've certainly heard the sniffing on camera enough times. And then I think he forgets which accounts he has shared and throws stuff on them. And then inevitably, when he falls out with the people, they remember what they saw.
What do you think, Lydia? Oh, no.
Does she know she's muted or did she fall off?
I don't know. Maybe she fell off.
But yeah, I agree that he just freestyles everything. You know what I mean?
I did not fall off.
Okay.
There you be.
Sorry, couldn't find that mute button.
So what do you think in all this?
I don't know. They are so he's so psychotic. Like, it's hard to apply rules to what these people are doing. It's, I don't know. It's unpredictable.
Katie asks, what happened with you and Lindsay? Oh man, it's actually pretty, yeah. So, Lindsay was apparently fostering some conspiratorial beliefs that everyone was working against her. And so she wouldn't necessarily always tell us this. She was very dramatic. She would yell a lot, whatever. But intermittently, she would accuse me of being paid by Jen McCabe to have Jason Broyles post about her on Twitter obsessively. Why, I don't know. I hate Jason Broyles. I think that's pretty commonly. Oh, because he was a Discord hanger on her in 2019. No,
there's an easier answer. That answer is about 6 feet tall. It has curly Art Garfunkel hair. Uses a rope as a belt. Wears clothes that are 3 sizes too big, and hot boxes its brain on a daily basis.
That's a real
lot of this is Grant.
I don't know.
A lot of this is Grant.
Or it could be her influencing Grant. I don't know. But anyway, so she's like building these conspiracy things, and she would pop off, and I would be like, Lindsay, like, no one's paying me. That's crazy. I'm your friend. I babysit your kids. I help you out. Like, I don't want anything from you. Like, right. Like, that's, nobody would do that to you. We're just trying to be friends. Right. And she would calm down and she would apologize. Cool. And then it would restart. So like maybe by the second time it was really old, and we had like a falling out in January where she freaked out on me because we discovered that she was talking to Grant about me and giving him like bits of information that he would twist into like crazy like conspiracy things. So I finally like confronted her about it. Sort of was like, did you tell Grant that I got my hair done with Jen McCabe? And she was like, no, I didn't. I would never do that. And I'm like, I don't know how else he would know. And now he's claiming that she paid me in a makeover to have people fuck with you. And I don't know why he's posting that. Just lie. So I kicked her out of the Discord because at this point it's like, whatever, like nobody, like I knew that she was talking to Grant and they were still friends, and like I don't like him, but that's fine. Like I would try to not talk disparagingly about him to her. I didn't do a great job, but like whatever, like I was okay with it. I'm not going to tell a grown woman who she can and can't talk to, but like talking to him about me when she knows that all he does is write crazy derogatory shit about me is not being a very good friend, and lying about it is now not being trustworthy. So I kicked her. She texted me a whole line of shit telling me how evil I am and blah, blah, blah. She never did that. Someday I'll realize she was a real friend. And so we just stopped talking. Cool. Like a month or two goes by, and then she reaches out to me again for help, and she apologizes and says, sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I know you're not doing that. Great. Cool. So like I would take her phone calls. I didn't want to hang out with her anymore, so I didn't. She would kind of bring it up, and I would be like, yeah, sure, maybe, and then kind of dodge it because I just wasn't feeling it. But she was stressed about the lawsuit, and I was trying to, and she had shit going on with her, probate stuff with the kid's father, and I would listen to her, whatever. And then one day I saw her kid's father at court, and I told her about it, and he must have too, because she accused me of meeting up with him at court to plot against her, to have her kids taken from her and given to their father. And just for frame of reference here, I liked her kids. I watched her kids. I was, pretty close to her kids for the time that I spent with them anyway. Like I would not want anything to happen to her kids. And her kid's father is like a junkie in and out of jail that has abused her, according to her anyway. And is like lives in a sober home. So like no sane person would ever be like, yeah, I want to plot with this guy to take it. Like where would he even take them to? Right. And like when she would freak out about the possibility of him, getting visitation or taking them, when she would, vent to me, I would always be like, where is he going to take him, Lindsay? Why are you freaking out about this? Like he has nowhere to take them. He lives in a sober home. Like the fuck. Anyway, so she accused me of it, and she's screaming at me, and I just hung up the phone on her and was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Right. And she's trying to call back, and I'm like, nope. We're done here, right? Like I'm not I don't need this. I don't need this fucking drama. It's delusional. And right after that, it like lit a fuse in her, and then she goes online and immediately like it's off and popping. And at first I didn't want to respond to it at all, but it gets tiresome after a while because like she lies. She says things on the internet that we have screenshots and stuff to disprove, right? And like 3 out of the 4 people on this panel right here were in Discord with her and can all attest to that it was nothing but self-centered, screaming drama all the time.
Drama. Oh my God.
I've never really said much about it. I don't really have a lot to say, but this, I was really nice to her, like everybody else was. Man, she would have a flip out. They were common, and we would do everything we could to calm her down. Because I mean, like her information's being leaked, and it's obviously a tough time for somebody. So you would cut them slack over and over, just saying things to yourself like, imagine if that happened. How would you handle it? Maybe you get fired up too. Okay. But it crosses a line when you go out there and it's like you're fired out of a cannon and you're just throwing the weirdest conspiracy theories I've ever heard. Like the one that stuck in my head was Grant said I made $30,000 from being paid by Russian oligarchs. Right?
Wait, you did?
God. Are
apparently,
you serious?
Yeah, I never got a couch, but apparently Russian oligarchs paid me 30 grand for what? Right? Who knows? Why Russian? Why oligarchs? Who knows?
Oh my God.
But it just got it got absurd, right? And I mean, to this day, it's sad is what it is. It's sad. Everybody tried to help. Everybody was nice as hell. But yeah, no, it's extremely disappointing, man. Extremely disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not taking in any more strays.
Somebody in chat asked why Grant went nuts. Looking back on it, I don't think Grant went nuts. I think Grant's been this nuts the whole time. The difference is when he came into it, he looked relatively sane in comparison to the other people who were busy covering this. So he kind of had some herd immunity and hid. And then the more he was reporting, like on the weed scandal and all the other weird stuff that was going on, the more he looked a little weird. And then this has just fueled all of his conspiracy fantasies. And he's in deep with this. He's tying in, I don't know, the Rockefellers and the Bilderbergers and fucking Anthony Fauci and all this other crap. But it's all Kate. It's always Kate. No matter what it is Kate. Kate did this.
And I kind of admire your ability to be this obsession. I mean, you're at the center of everything. You're at the center of every obsession of these people. And it's, I don't know, it's fascinating.
I do think that with Lindsay too, what I'm gathering just from I ended up just blocking her, and it's like, I don't even have a lot to say to her at this point, because it's just like, it makes me sad. I thought we were friends, and I tried to help her a lot. And she's dropping screenshots of some sort of proof of but it's like in the screenshots, I'm just trying to help her, but Rosewater brings up a good point. Netflix. One of the first people that she came out and attacked was this woman named Zora Kushner from the film company, right? And she disclosed that she had spoken to them, and obviously they declined filming with her or anything like that. But I just thought it was interesting that was one of the first attack points, and that it really does come back to that. So I do wonder if there are some ulterior motives with her, and so that's also part of the reason perhaps that she ran right back to Turtle Boy. Is if you slam one door and realize you're not getting to where you want to go there, you go back to a familiar one. I think that she's looking for a certain degree of notoriety in this, that
I wouldn't
didn't.
That is sad.
And I mean, even the messages you posted from Zora was nothing but kind. It's like, why are you posting? What is this even?
Everybody was. People bent over backwards. They did so much, and to watch all that happen, to see all the help that was dispensed, at least the amount I saw, and it was a great amount that I saw. The help, to have all that completely disrespected like it is. It is sad. It's more, for me anyway, it's more sad than it's angering, because it's depressing, but that's,
I think part of the problem back then was Lindsay had her own issues with Turtle Boy, and what happened with her got him arrested. That's a good thing in my mind. His lawyer told him not to go to her house. He went to her house anyway. He did what he did. What happened. There was no setup. This wasn't, a conspiracy between Kate and the president of the United States to get Turtle Boy. No, it was Turtle Boy, the same headstrong crap he's doing right now. He was doing that. That's what happened. But I think at some point, Lindsay thought that she was the main story. Him with 16 felony convictions or charges was the main story. And Karen was the main story and would remain the main story for years. And I don't think that ever sat well with her, or if she ever consciously realized that there are other victims in this. There are, what are they calling them now? The house defendants. There are the people who, if you look at the pinned link, I assume it's pinned, you can actually go help. And they were and continue to be victims in this, and nobody is going to drop concern for them and trying to help them to run around holding her hand. I feel bad for what happened to Lindsay. I still don't think she should have been in that position in the first place, nor should she have been put in the position that she was after the charges were brought on him. She's not built to take the heat that Turtle Boy and his entourage can bring on someone, but
how many times was she told, right?
Yes,
listen,
exactly.
The charges are out, but you don't have to cooperate. I literally told her, and I have no shame in saying this at some point, if they call you to testify and you can't handle it, they're not going to arrest you. Right? Like, you're the victim in the case. If you want it dropped, you go to them and tell them, I'm not going to cooperate, and they'll have no choice but to drop it, and you can get out. Because I was concerned about her fucking mental health first and foremost, right? Like, nobody in their right mind that was speaking to her right before she had him over the house would have told her that was a good idea. Quite the opposite, right? She was constantly told, just block him, ignore him, and for whatever reason. But then again, she's in our group telling us, I'm so afraid of him, I don't want to talk to him anymore. And then you see the other side of the text messages that he starts leaking out, and you see that at the same time that she's telling us this and screaming and crying on the phone, she's texting him, trying to entice him with a threesome, so it's complicated there. And that's that's a problem, is that entire friendship relationship with Lindsay started based on her lying. Right? She reached out to me on the Jane account and spoke about herself in the third person and told me that she wasn't Lindsay when she was, right? That's a lie. She came in and said that she was done with him and she was afraid of him and that he was harassing her. And then it comes out that that's a lie. That's not a really good place to start.
People on X are asking if this is being streamed anywhere else. Guys, if you're on X and you can't hear this, hop over to YouTube, go to the Masshole Mafia channel. It's got 37,000 subs. That's how you know it's the one. It's Masshole Mafia, and you'll find a live link there. You can watch it directly on YouTube.
Yes.
X has been insanely bad for video for the last week or two.
I don't know why. Elon, get your shit together. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's a little raw for me, It really is, especially because I mean, she's very convincing. I believed her, and it's hard. I had the same thing with her too, though, where it's some of the stuff that she said that he did is consistent with what we know him to be. So I think the truth is probably a little bit in the middle, but it's very hard to take her seriously at all after everything that happened, everything that he did, everything that she claimed that he did, right? For her to just run right back. And I mean, are they back together? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I was given 2 screenshots and you can see the room, right? There's enough to be able to see the room, and it's not her old apartment. I was there all the time. If you compare pictures that have been posted from that old apartment, the, trim on the wall is different. The setup, it's a different room. So I believe it to be current. I believe it to be current. I know that he was also seen leaving a location reportedly. The other thing that's weird about this is it's an anonymous account that told me all this, that I don't even know who I'm talking to with that either.
Hold on. Even if we didn't have all that information, when she suddenly started going pro Turtle Boy, when she started going give it to his defense fund, when he came out and said my lawsuit with her is being settled privately, that should have been a great big clue. Turtle Boy does not quit unless A, he is forced to by the law, which it hadn't gotten anywhere near that point, or B, he gets the capitulation he wants out of someone. That is part and parcel for his existence. He will go until he hurts himself to get what he thinks he deserves. That is why I firmly believe that they are back together, at least perhaps not physically, but definitely working together. But I think it's more.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely working together. They've been very open about that. All signs point to more too, which is just wild with the kind of accusations that they were throwing at each other. So it's a very disheartening situation.
But remember,
what an
she
idiot
was
that.
6 months ago. She was making videos with Frankie attacking Turtle Boy.
Right.
So this just seems within her character to ping pong back and forth between these dudes.
Well, just people in general, right? Because, like, what was the flashpoint for Lindsay to reach out to me, right? Was Aiden was breaking up with her. And once she knew that separation was final, then it's fire and brimstone, constant accusations. She crusades against him for like a year and a half. Then I finally get sick of the shit and tell her, like, I'm not, hang up on her. We're not talking anymore. We're not friends. Once she realizes that, she calls and calls and calls. And once she realizes that separation is final, she goes right back over to Aiden, right? So I think that it definitely shows you how she handles rejection not well, right? And the baggage that was definitely preyed upon, I think, with the sexual relationship that he drummed up with her. But the whole, her involvement again is just another like kind of puzzle piece into his spiral right now, because a rational, sane human being would not be like, who I want. I think he referred to her on the defense team the other day. He said, oh, Meredith's jealous because she wanted to be on the defense team and now Lindsay is. He said something like that. Why would you want someone who accused you of rape and assault and witness intimidation and blackmail, and you have branded a liar in open court repeatedly? Like his attorney Bradel has literally said to the judge, she is a mentally unstable liar. She is a psychopath. She is incapable of telling the truth. Why would you want that person involved in your legal defense?
That's a risk, man.
Why would
it's objectively insane?
She destroyed herself as a witness too. Her lawsuit has destroyed her as a witness in anything involving him.
Right.
She cannot be brought on the stand as a witness.
I think we got someone backstage there, Kate.
Oh, thank you.
I don't even understand why she brought that lawsuit in the first place.
Grant. Hi.
Blast from the past.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Oh God, this broad.
Shut
up.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Kate.
Hi.
I love you.
Love you too.
Came to give some insight on this, but I'll jump in when appropriate. Go ahead.
I was gonna move on from her anyway at this point, just because like I don't want to turn it into like smash the unstable person.
Well, I mean, but who's better to do that than an unstable person themselves? Like,
yeah, right.
So here I am. I think my problem with her is that a bunch of people who are untrustworthy of other people, the people who surrounded the case, and then Kate, me, you, Boomer, especially Boomer and I, who are suspicious of everyone that comes around. We're side-eyeing, genuinely poured out our love and kindness and just wrapped ourselves around her to, because we had all been through rough times, and watched after her kids when we were around them and just tried to support her the best that we could. And for her to shit on us like she did, I took particular offense, not because of myself per se, but like I'm protective of my people and Kate, who you've always been a good friend of me. And when I saw her just kind of turn and just start leaking shit, I think that was a turning point with a lot of us, because a lot of us had our number from the get-go.
It wasn't like it wasn't state secrets. Like I wasn't announcing that I went to get my hair done, because I don't announce that. All right. Like I just in general, I'm not hiding it, but it's not like I mean, every time that I get a cut and color, I'm like, I gotta tell the internet or whatever. And like we all went as girlfriends, me, Jen, Carrie Lama. I can't remember if anyone else was there. Right. Like there were other people involved for sure. I did not pay for my hair, and she knew that. But like, it wasn't so much like we were hiding that. It's not the leaking. It's the fact that it then goes back to, and I don't know what context she told Grant, but obviously not a good one, because it gets blown up into this crazy thing where Jen McCabe is paying me to have some, piss drinking internet troll write negative stuff about Lindsay, while he's writing negative stuff about me too, right? And like that's how self-centered she was. She would always be like, he doesn't go after anyone but me, and we'd pull up tweets and be like, yes, he does, Lindsay, but it's like she completely blocked out anything that wasn't about her, right? But like the whole thing was just crazy. But it was like the context again. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just told you 1,950 people on the back end are watching this right now. Jen McCabe, we went to her hairdresser and she paid for my color and cut one time. It was not a quid. It was not a quid pro quo. There was nothing. It was just like friends. And I know from other people that that's something that Jen has done for a lot of people, right?
God damn it,
why are
Kate.
you watching people's pockets? Like, fuck is the matter with you?
Kate,
like,
I
for
can
all
hear
the shit
Grant.
that we did for her, you're watching people's pockets like that. Like the Christmas that all this bullshit kicked off with Aiden, were we not there with her every second, making sure she's all right?
Yep.
There were a lot of phone calls that day when she said she couldn't. Yeah, she couldn't make. And we got accused of paying her. That was the other thing too, because he gets her phone extraction and sees the cash out. Oh my God, they paid. Well, nobody fucking paid her for anything. She told us all that she was so distraught by this whole thing that she couldn't even get to the grocery store before it closed.
And then you ordered groceries to her house.
No, we didn't. We did not order her groceries. We gave her Cash App and told her to go get Chinese food because the stores were closed.
Shit, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago. Goddamn.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember because I was the one that was sending them. There were people that were given, and and she probably got a lot more than just one dinner. Because people felt so bad, right? That's just something that we do. Like, and it's whatever. Like, again, that's not quid pro quo. She didn't owe anything for that. It was done out of kindness. But like then to have it like twisted and, sent back is just really gross. I don't want to talk about her too much, though. That's not what we're here for.
But I had to weigh in on this because, I know you don't need me to be, but I'm protective of my friends, like to watch people that you love, go through this fucking bullshit. It's super hard to like watch people you love go through it.
It is frustrating. You try to do the right thing. You try to be a halfway decent person. I know I do. I do a lot better job of it than people online give me credit for, really, honestly.
This
and then
is true, because I'm a half a scumbag, but
right. But you know what I mean? Like whatever. Just these innocent things that are just pro-social activities that happen amongst friends, and a lot of us have become friends at this point. I've never claimed to be overly objective in that regard. These normal things get just bastardized and turned into something they're not. Meanwhile, you've got Aiden Carney, talking out sexual fantasies about Karen Reed within weeks of writing about her case. And they're threatening to turn each other into the police all the time. And there's leaked photos and texts and, phone extractions. And you've got Jenna Rocco on a voice recording talking about how they have to hide from the public that Aiden actually has anything to go with the police to about Karen. And this is all very shady stuff that people just fucking gloss over. But God forbid you have a day of shopping and beauty with your girlfriends, right? And it becomes a fucking deep state. Right. It's nobody's business. But, again, like, it's like, I'm not hiding it either. I'm not going to deny it. I don't know why we're talking about it or why it's come up so much, but something as innocuous and simple like that gets turned into this elaborate, Murder on the Orient Express mystery, right? Where it's this giant, conspiracy. It was just a day with friends. Okay. Lindsay came to us and she said that she was scared of Aiden and that she needed protection and that she had information and she wanted to help and she wanted, he was going to ruin her life life because she has this information, and everybody just tried to help her. And now she's holding a megaphone for Aiden, talking about how we're all the worst people in the world. Why? What is her grievance? At the end of the day, like, she didn't get enough attention. She didn't get what she thought was the Jen McCabe treatment. And a lot of that, again, was caused by herself. I believe that at some point her victim witness advocate in the DA's office and the police probably stopped taking her so seriously and probably avoided her calls because she's fucking insufferable. She screams. Everybody's heard it. It's been blasted on the internet. That is her. That is her. Okay. And so, I've got messages in Discord where she would drop in and be like, oh, I was just on the phone crying with Brian Tully for 20 minutes screaming. Like, he's a nice guy for doing that, but like, he's got a job to do. He's not going to do that forever,
No.
Right. And also, just for the record, as somebody who knows Kate, has spent a lot of time with Kate. If you ever think that Kate is out for the money or whatever, try to pay for dinner for her.
Yeah.
We will go back and forth. I just feel like that's very important.
That's a pride thing.
Into buying her dinner.
not to cut in on you, but I'll do you one better. Take the easier road where the money was. Right. I remember day one. It was like, I remember a conversation. It was like, this is where I'm headed. And what do you think of this project that I'm going to do? And it's not a money maker. This is we're taking an unpopular opinion as the machine was already rolling to put out propaganda for the Karen Read movement, if you want to call it that, whatever the hell it is. That's enough evidence right there. If anybody was wondering, like,
yeah, we did have that conversation.
Interested in money?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I specifically said, like, this is not a money maker, and we're not going to grow or make any friends. Like, this is a is a channel killer, but it's the right thing to do, right? Which is also, I guess, to tie back into what we were talking about, my sympathy for Meredith when everyone, she's a lunatic. I can't dispute that, but in my heart, when I see somebody piled on like that, like what is happening to her right now, calls to the police, calls to Child Protective Services. I've seen no evidence that that woman is in need of Child Protective Services. I don't know her. I don't know her kid. I've never been to her house, so I don't know her intimately, which are the only people that should be filing DCF reports, by the way, because if you don't know, you don't fucking know. But what little glimpses I've seen over the internet, there is nothing that pops out as like, wow, somebody should call Child Protective Services. Like, her kid looks fine. Just like Lindsay's kids were fine. You know what I mean? Like, dysfunctional does not mean you need the government intruding and, risking having those children removed. That's crazy.
But that's playbook page 4 for these people. As soon as somebody who they know has kids falls out with Turtle Boy or turns on Turtle Boy or has a comment that Turtle Boy finds distasteful, suddenly there's anonymous calls to CPS, and they know they're anonymous. It's very easy to weaponize that agency, disturbingly easy. And I mean, there's a reason you can call anonymously. It was set up that way for a reason, but it's a standard tactic now. They come in, they make your life hell, they piss you off for 2 weeks, they leave when there's nothing there, but then there's a report that was filed, and you can always say, CPS had to go to their house.
Kate says Meredith deserves everything she's getting just for what she did to her ex years ago. Fuck her. Do you know her ex, or like why do you feel so strongly about that? I don't care. I mean, it's a crazy story, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, obviously I read that report. It's been out forever. I didn't read it and think like, well, that's a sane and adjusted thing to do. It's not, but I don't have strong feelings about it because I don't know her or her ex, and it's really not my fucking business. I don't know. And how does it help the ex now? Drag that dirty laundry back up? Like, is that good for him too? I don't think so. I think it's good for anyone. And although, it's definitely been dragged out on Twitter a little bit here and there, not on the level that it just was with Turtle Boy. And he's known the whole time. He told the story pretty much from the beginning while he was still in jail. He was told all this about her and he didn't care, right? He only cares now because he's looking for things to weaponize against this woman, which again is not fair play. Relationships take two people, right? So like, anytime you're in a fucked up relationship, you're always going to have a percentage of the dysfunction, depending on the, it could be a larger or small, but you're always going to have at least some percentage, right? Again, I would say that Aiden in this situation, just knowing what I know of him and seeing how this is playing out, probably has about 75% of the dysfunction in that relationship. But she's the only one getting shit on for it.
This is a very important comment. Kate, you're gay.
I would point out, I may be preaching to the choir, and I'm pretty sure we are on YouTube. I have no idea what the audience breakdown on Twitter is at the moment. But bear this in mind. One of the things Aiden is superhumanly good at is taking specific points that he can isolate from the context and spin them any way he wants and make them look how he wants. It's why he is so good as a shitbag muckraking journalist. It's why he can take people who aren't nearly as shitty as he is and make them sound so much worse than he is. And that's the bully pulpit he has, and it's what he's been doing. The stuff he's pulling out about Meredith, I'm waiting for her to pull the same stuff out and throw it at him. We'll see which way it goes. And to be clear, I think they're both nuts. I think Karen's nuts. I would be happy if all three of them end up in the metaphorical ditch after this. Fine with me.
I mean, I'll say this on Meredith, right? Like, I'm not a fan. I think she deserves a lot of shit for what she's done. She shit on people I like. She shit on people I don't know. But the bottom line is, some of the things that they're doing, like the DCF and everything, I'm not into that. I don't co-sign that kind of behavior, calling jobs, all that shit. I've never been into that. I don't co-sign that. I don't think her daughter should suffer. If she's done anything that she deserves retribution for, I'd rather personally, it might not be cool or flashy, I'd rather her take a civil suit. You know what I mean? If she's damaged somebody, I'd rather her, face justice that way. I don't think it's cool that people are calling DCF and that kind of shit. That's unnecessary.
Well, there's that, but the pylon is crazy, right? The pylon is crazy. And he put out her daughter's school at one point. He questioned her parenting because he said, like, I couldn't. First of all, he promised to move in with her, which, you're crazy if you want to move in with a guy that fast anyway, but whatever. He promised her all this stuff. And then he has the nerve to be like, you should hear her teenager. She curses and screams at her. I could never expose my kids to that. The fuck? I mean, that's just a teenager. Jesus Christ. Like, that's not a fair point to call into question someone's parenting, drag the kid up into it. What the fuck? And then to graphically discuss their sex life and disparage her like that, like he couldn't have minded it that much because he was with her for a year and a half.
Right.
It's abusive.
The pylon is
diabolical. It's disgusting. Yeah. They're
but I'm not saying
they don't know anything about this.
But I'm full stop. I'm definitely not saying that she doesn't deserve some bullshit for the bullshit she's been doing. I just don't like this. I don't like this style of it is all, right? The pylon, the DCF.
We're not Meredith fans by a long shot.
No.
Okay, so Katie says knows the ex. That explains your feelings. I can understand that, please.
Just to be clear, when I said the metaphorical ditch, I'm not supporting any of that skullduggerous, underhanded troll bullshit, door knocks, sending the police to somebody's house, DCS, unpaid pizzas, any of that crap. That's not cool. That is not what you do. But if her credibility takes a hit on Twitter, as far as her saying this is the truth, after we know she's been lying for Turtle Boy for months and months and months, running fake accounts for him, live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah.
I hope more of that extraction comes out. I mean, that was wild too. We always knew. Well, it's not like a shocking revelation, right? Like, he's a sexual deviant. Again, if you were to ask Grok right now, if somebody were to at Grok and be like, is Aiden Carney a sexual deviant? Like, I would say 95% chance that Grok's going to be like, based on all available information, yeah, he is, right? Because he is objectively a sexual deviant. And, Karen has a pulse and a vagina, and is, under the age of 70. So it would make sense. Like, I don't think anyone's shocked that, like, oh, he had weird sexual fantasies about her. Obviously, that's just the kind of person that he is. But the fact that he, within weeks of starting to ostensibly report. Can we call it reporting? Doing whatever the hell he was doing, blogging obsessively about her case. He's already, first of all, expressing confidence that he can sleep with her, which is fucking hilarious. I'm pretty sure that Karen Reed's probably into guys with jobs. Would be probably something that she finds attractive. So he's out of the picture. But he's confident that he could sleep with her, and then goes into graphic detail about how he would with some other random hooker. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Is that what journalists do? I mean, everybody was so upset about Michael Proctor calling her a whack job cunt, right? Like that was, send him out and hang him, pretty much. But it's fine for this self-proclaimed journalist to write graphic sexual fantasies about her out.
Well, that's the thing is he was reading stuff that Proctor wrote privately, that was not part of the investigation, was not to be exposed, and screaming about what a horrible man he was. Aiden was at that same time writing far worse things himself. And the turtle cult's going, but he wasn't an investigating officer. No, he was a journalist telling people he was telling the truth. I don't see that much of a distinction between the two of them in their positions. What they say is supposed to be the truth. Aiden's admitted repeatedly that he lies to people. I do not understand why people continue to listen to what falls out of his mouth and believe it when he has said, I don't talk to Karen. Well, yeah, I was talking to Karen. So what? Do something about it.
We lost Gina. No, and not just that. Not just love you, Gina. Thanks for coming. Not just that, but we're talking about weeks into his obsessive blogging that's supposed to be the truth. He's harboring graphic sexual fantasies about this woman. Do you think that could affect somebody's objectivity a little bit? Do you think? Right. I mean, and this is a guy who has had several very public breakups where every single breakup he claims that he is an innocent victim who has just been duped by this woman, and in large part because of his sexual attraction, right? Oh, sorry guys, I was thinking with my wrong head again. So do you think that maybe his sexual attraction towards Karen Reed could also have, maybe skewed his views a little bit? Because he's saying that it happens to him all the time. It would seem that this is another case. And he didn't disclose any of this, and he lied and said he wasn't even talking to her. Like, on the date that he's writing those messages about how he wants to do disgusting things to Karen Reed and this other woman, he is at the same time telling the public that he's never even spoken to her before. But behind the scenes, he is so acquainted with her that he is confident that he can get in her pants.
Earl Pink Gray says it's the novel 1984. He rewrites the truth that he literally wrote yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. In one of the audio recordings of him and Meredith, he says, do you want, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember it exactly, but it's like, do you want Grant Smith Ellis to mess with your job? You got called down, didn't you? Imagine when I start doing that. And she goes, why are you threatening my job? And he says, no, I'm not. That was the same sentence. Wild. That was the same breath of air. Then to top it off, he sits on a live stream with another person. So there's two heads in this room, right? There's two people watching this. They play it twice and they just glance or gloss right over it as if he didn't just hear himself say that on tape, right? I mean, that's in the same moment. It's reflex, right? So when people say, oh, this guy, he tells the truth, he's a journalist. It's like, how many times do you need to hear and see the person lie as a reflex, play it out loud to you, to your face, and completely ignore it, right? That sounds like truth, right? Not manipulation, not propaganda, but truth. I mean, it's...
Speaking of truth, if everybody can head over and check out www.defendingthetruth.org, take a look at some of the testimonials from the witnesses in this case who did nothing wrong other than say what they saw and give their timelines to the best of their ability to remember. And if you're in the Boston area, keep an eye out around Gillette Stadium. Apparently, there's a big, beautiful blue billboard there with a QR code that will take you to the same place.
There is. I have to go to Trader Joe's tomorrow, so I'm going to drive by it finally.
Nice. Oh God, a video just the entirety is his life, dude. That'd
That's
be like
why
what, a series?
That'd be a
I have to
mini
do my
series.
magnum opus. I have
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
I have to do my lore. I have to do a lore video. I'm going to have to put the whole history out there so people can understand from the very beginning all of I mean, there's so much to this. I'm going to do it as objectively as I can too. I'm going to be fair to the guy. Okay. I just like, and it's especially important to me, this project, because at this point, this will be the only documentary about Turtle Boy that is ever actually produced and released, you know? So I take that as a responsibility, you know. I take it very seriously. Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
titanic undertaking.
I will say this.
Oh my God.
Just what Turtle Boy has said live in the last 4 days on his streams
alone
is enough to keep any media outlet from ever touching him as anything other than a crash and burn story of how did we not see this earlier? He's burned himself with this. There is no way in today's day and age that you can take someone who says, "Yeah, I like to beat off to my own videos. That's what I do." Is that weird? Most men like to do that, and use him as a serious source or a serious correspondent when that's just going to keep getting thrown in their face every time. It ain't gonna happen
every time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you figure this is like a huge convergence of shit, right? So he's got a hearing on Friday. It was supposed to be a motion to dismiss hearing. It's been converted to a status hearing. I think this new judge is not putting up with his bullshit because the judge immediately put it over to a Zoom hearing. So they don't want the circus, clearly. I don't even know that they're actually ever going to have a motion to dismiss hearing now because, as the Commonwealth pointed out in their opposition, first of all, Betterow made a whoopsie and he just filed a bunch of affidavits instead of an actual motion. That was a problem. But then, you know, if the Commonwealth says, all right, well, we'll take it as all these filings together, we'll say it's a motion to dismiss. You can have that, Betterow, right? So well, you can have that, but now we're going to bring up that you already tried a motion to dismiss and it was denied, so you can't come back and do it again. And then, you know, on the odd chance that you can, which I don't think they can, here's all the reasons why your motion to dismiss is a bunch of bullshit. You know, Kate Peter is not a government agent. We've never directed Kate Peter. Her emails don't mean much of anything. And the video titles that you claim were altered are just how they arranged their clips. And nobody ever said they were your titles. And oh, by the way, we labeled them with your own words. Yeah. So that's not good. He's got on the 4th, I think he's got a trial. There's a woman in New Jersey who has a restraining order on him right now. And he was court ordered not to speak about her and to take all his posts down about her. And he has refused to do both of those things. So it sounds like she may be trying to move for some violations. So that's on Thursday.
Is she the one that set up somebody as a or pretended to be a mistress online? Is that the chick from New Jersey?
She pretty much, yeah, she got online and flirted with the murder victim's brother, and essentially catfished him, because I'm sorry, but there's a big disparity in the pictures she was sending him and then some candid shots of her. And so while she was doing this, essentially preying on this vulnerable, grieving man, she was screenshotting everything and sending it to Aiden Carney, right? So she's trying to embarrass the brother of a murder victim and sending it all back to Aiden Carney, who is enthusiastically, co-signing this and encouraging it, and is frustrated at some points because he wants to write the story faster so he can massively embarrass and humiliate and hurt this murder victim's brother. And then some time goes by and this woman leaves a Twitter comment on someone's thread and says that she will not donate to his defense fund any longer. So he goes nuclear and then tells the internet who she is, where she works, who her husband is, who her kids are, all that, doxing shit that he does. And he says that it's because she's a bad person for catfishing a murder victim's brother. And the reason that he has so many intimate details about how she did it is because he was involved in it. Right. So he is condemning this woman for what he has taken part in himself, actively with her. So that's cool.
I will point out that New Jersey has much stronger laws about this stuff and takes it much more seriously than the state of Massachusetts does.
That's another one where, like, I think she's a horrible person and a crazy bitch. But is the solution to terrorize her? No. Is the person to do
Exactly.
it? It's certainly not Aiden Carney, who, again, like, he's literally like, let me tell you about all these bad things I know this woman did, and I know about them because I was doing them with her, right? It just doesn't make, like, he's condemning her for his own actions too. Like, I mean, if she's a horrible person, then he's essentially admitting that he is too. I don't know why he just can't come out and say that, but he can't. Again, guys, and that's why we're pushing that fundraiser link, and we will on streams or spaces, whatever we're doing, defendingthetruth.org, is because obviously in a civilized society there needs to be repercussions to somebody like Aiden Carney, and the way that we can support that right now is financially, right? I can't wait to see this guy get sued, not just for the plaintiffs in that case, but they're kind of doing it for everybody that's been affected by this guy, and there's a lot of us, there's a ton of us, and trust and believe that when that hammer drops, it's going to drop hard. I can't say much more than that, but it's going to drop hard. So you definitely want a piece of that if you can. But yeah.
In the back of his mind, he also has to know that with Karen's case getting kicked federal, that means no baby blogger reporting on her case from inside the courthouse, getting his face on camera and doing live updates. Federal doesn't play that way. That whole Turtle Boy circus does not work in federal court. It just doesn't. So that's got to be bugging him too, because that was definitely going to be an avenue of financial gain for him, is reporting on the Karen shit. He can't do that now. I mean, he can, but he will have the same report as every mainstream news channel.
Update, you guys. Turtle Boy is live for the 5th day in a row.
Holy shit.
Thank you. I know you wanted to flex on that, but I don't care. I think that he has earned every single one of those 7.5 live viewers, although I would almost guarantee that there are some bots. Regardless, that absolutely earned it. His meltdowns are prime entertainment, just Kino cinema. Really, really good. I mean, yeah, he was talking about how he jerks off on his couch, and like the context to that is that he rents a room. I think it's 2 rooms actually he rents from an old lady. So it's her couch that he's jerking off on and telling the world about it.
Oh no.
Well, let's be clear.
Let's
be clear. He specified that he stands up to do that.
That's
otherwise,
what he said, man.
Otherwise, he smokes weed and watches football, interspersed with manic, like it owes him money, masturbation whenever the mood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make I'll probably get hit on. I'll get it's worth the community guideline strike. I'm gonna make like a compilation of just like the grossest things that he said over the last. But by the time that I get to it, it'll probably be 25 hours worth of streaming.
You could throw that on Rumble. They won't give.
I was just gonna say, this is well, they're starting to, because I'm finding that out myself. But
we're on Twitter and YouTube right now, and I want to share it with the people we're talking to about this. Like, you guys got to see this, and I know, like, I can't even sit through. Like, I have been trying. I've been like up at night, like I'm gonna watch his shit, but I fall asleep because it's like 5 hours. It's like Cyrax levels of fucking streaming, guys. It's crazy.
It is, man.
Yeah, it's like, just really, really marathon sessions, but like tucked within there is some of the foulest shit. And like, at some point you sort of cringe, like, this is somebody's father.
and
oh my God.
This is somebody's father whose kids are going to find this and watch it someday.
Dude.
I hope not. That is fucking traumatic. You want to talk about, he throws trauma around. That is fucking traumatic.
Yo.
And the thing about it looks to me like the weirder he's gotten over the last couple of days, the more super chats he's getting, or turtle chats, or whatever the fuck he calls them, when he says, let's read them together, class. So he's catering to that audience now. He is actually reaffirming himself that this is the way he should be. And with court cases coming up, I love that for him. I am just so happy.
It is a death loop. It is a death loop. He's getting a lot of positive feedback for otherwise very self-destructive negative behavior.
I'm so happy that 3 days before he has to be in court looking rather serious, albeit by a Zoom from the Coom couch, he is telling everybody his most depraved adventures and bragging about them. I love that for him.
No doubt, right? Yeah. Meow, they're gonna make a mold of it. Meow. Like, oh, great.
His court shit, and that's the other thing too, about the court shit on Friday. Just so the judge is asking for he wants to discuss potential trial dates and joinder motions. And I know Grant Smith Ellis went nuts on a conspiracy about joinder motions, but it's really, really simple. Aiden is charged with like, I don't even know, I think it's down to like maybe 12 counts. With maybe 8 different victims right now, so they're all originating from the same pattern, the same time frame. Obviously they're all John O'Keefe witnesses, so the same basic facts, but they're different people. So the Commonwealth most likely is going to file a motion at some point to join all of those cases and try them together, so that they don't have to do 12 different trials. And Aiden's defense could come back and argue that would be too prejudicial. Let's say that one case is stronger than the other, but if you hear them all at the same time, they can color each other. But they don't have a very good chance of succeeding on that just because of how grouped in the conduct was, right? So most likely it's just going to be one trial for all the charges, but that's the joinder. My point is though, that the judge is already looking ahead to trial. So he wants to move this along, which is the opposite of what Aiden and his defense team have been trying to do, right? Like they've been trying to kick the can down the road for as long as possible. He's admitted this, right? I wonder if that comes into court, how the judge is going to feel about that too. But regardless, it looks like he's not really feeling like he wants to let that happen. So you've got that stuff, the New Jersey stuff. He has another criminal charge in New Jersey now too, although I think that one's bullshit. The harassment with the t-shirt lady, I can't get on board with that one. I think that's nonsense.
And he can't judge shop anymore. Massachusetts, we're tired of this, so here's a special prosecutor and a special judge. You get to deal with one judge. You can't keep filing motions to push this out until Bradle's drinking buddy, they talk about golf more than their golf game more than they talk about the thing going on in court, is your judge. Aiden said something that was very pointed the other night when he was talking about how terrifying it is to go stand in front of a judge you don't know and find out whether you're going to jail or not, which implies that had he gone in front of the judge he does know, he would have known he wasn't going to jail, which makes me question the whole system. I am more and more believing there's corruption. I just don't think it's where they're claiming it is.
Right. Yeah. And then, in the context of all this court stuff, then of course, there's also an open investigation going on into him and Karen Reed still. At the same time that he and Karen Reed are now, they're not mortal enemies, is not the feeling that I'm getting. It's getting close to that, but definitely not. I mean, he's been throwing a lot of shade at her. He's gotten very close to the line of saying that she hit John O'Keefe, which she did, and I know that he knows that. Right. So I think we all know that he knows that. So I'm wondering how long it's going to take. I know that he staked a lot on it and kind of needs to keep the fairy tale going, but it must be killing him knowing that he got rejected by this ungrateful vodka hag who got away with killing her boyfriend because of him. Right. I know that he's parading that around now too. At first, now he's trying to take full credit, and I think he's do it. It's just, that's not a positive thing. He seems to think that it's a positive thing. Getting somebody off, of a murder is not a positive thing, especially when the way that you get them off results in all those charges, right? That's an objectively bad thing.
I mean, you got to read between the lines. The other night, he said, "Without me, she would be in jail or prison,"
right?
And he's right.
Right.
But that implies that the truth, as just the investigation had shown, would not have set her free. Right. His truth is what set her free. That is weird. Without his whole perversion of the justice system, she'd be in prison. Yeah, she should be.
It's true. And that's what blows me away about the free Karen Reed people they're anti-Turtle Boy, right? They're pro Karen. They're still saying that she never did it. But these same people, I've seen them post this, that they believe he's the reason she didn't go to jail. So you guys know that he lies. You know that he's lying about this, that, and the other, and they don't like what he's doing with Meredith, right? That's all terrible. And you don't like what he's saying about Karen, and he must be lying about Karen because you all follow her and believe she's innocent. Yet you still, it's like the most mind-boggling cognitive dissonance I've seen in a while. At the same time, you see that, but you can't believe that she did it, but you do concede that she wouldn't be free if it wasn't for him, and you also concede that he lies.
Right.
I don't get it.
Well, just the whole like, yeah, I would be in prison right now if not for a blogger charged with, you know, double-digit counts of witness intimidation.
Right.
So, right. Like
poisoning the jury pool with. What did he say? I remember it's an old clip, but he was
we're
like,
tainting the
you're
jury
right,
pool.
we're
Look at all
trying.
these,
That's right.
Look at
That's
all
right.
these
Yeah,
potential jurors, Michael Morrissey. He's so fucking dumb. That's why I
Right.
announced that, right? I mean, that's one thing that came out of these motions going back and forth is they're contesting this this folder full of clips that I guess Tully had labeled intent, right? Like, I mean, if the prosecution can build an entire folder full of clips that you personally filmed and posted to the internet that they can use to demonstrate intent in a on a charge that relies heavily on intent, you're fucked. And that's why, like, when the message came out that he had sent Meredith, right, there was a message and he's saying, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to trial. I can't go to trial. Like, of course the guy's scared shitless of going to trial, which is where it looks like this is going at this point. But I mean, like, the entire defense is, yeah, I did everything that they said that I did, but I don't agree with the law. And like, you're really taking a huge gamble that you're going to get 12 people that go, I also do not agree with this law. Because that's the only way that you're getting acquitted is if the entire jury unanimously is like, well, he said that he did it and it violates the law, right? Here's the law. Here's all the stuff that we can see that he did. And so it is against the law. Even he concedes it. He's just arguing that the statute is unconstitutional. Like,
Right.
You have to get 12 people that agree, yeah, it's unconstitutional. And you'll never do that. You'll never do that. I don't even know if you can get one. I mean, I would like to think that juries take it seriously. And then, everybody fucking hates him. He was saying in that same text message that a bunch of people in Melanie Little's chat were saying that he had gone too far and needs to go to jail. Okay, that Melanie Little's chat is about as friendly to him as you're going to get on the internet, right? I don't know how many of them are in Norfolk County, but on the internet, that's about as friendly as you can get to Turtle Boy. She really, really deep throats the turtle shell, and they even were saying that he broke the law and needs to go to jail. So it's not good. And then, with all this chaos going on, there's this breakup and his stuff starts leaking. And I mean, is anyone shocked that he's live for the 5th day in a row?
Well, and we know the reason he's live for the 5th day in a row. And this is why what has happened with Meredith is actually beautiful. He knows she knows stuff, but he doesn't know what she knows or what she has. So he is spending his time off air, furiously running through everything he's ever shown her, everything he's ever said to her, and making mental notes about, well, this is something she could make look bad about me. So he gets all his ducks in supposedly a row, and then he goes live, does a horribly disjointed 5-hour stream trying to get in front of everything, and goes, and I'm never going to talk about her again. Yeah, let's do some turtle chats. And then that night he lays awake and he thinks about all the stuff that he forgot to mention. So the next day he does it again. We're on day 5 of this now. He's just got to be running through a Rolodex in his head of shit. He's going, I have to spin this in my favor before it comes out. What's beautiful is she doesn't even have to drop anything. He's doing it himself to try and get ahead of it.
Yeah. I'm sure
Agreed.
She's probably got a nuclear code or two in there. You know what I mean? Stuff that he doesn't even want to touch. I think he's going to push her into going all the way too at this point. You would think at some point he would just stop. And also that's the other thing too, is like when things are bad, the worst thing that someone can do is fire up a live stream and fucking talk about it. Or at least bad in this context, right? Because he's just constantly memorializing statements that can later on be compared against each other and used against him. And it's particularly problematic for him because his stories tend to have several different versions along the way, right? So like, I mean, that's awkward if you get that in front of a jury. Which version is the truth?
This is this is a great lesson for people who think that it's a good idea to be feared, right? I mean, but on all accounts, it looked like Meredith was quiet, didn't want anything to do with this shit. Right.
Fear.
Right. Now, this is the problem with fear, right? You can scare somebody bad enough that they feel like they have nothing to lose and starts spilling everything. That's what Meredith did. She got freaked out. She's getting attacked, right? That's messing with her. She doesn't feel like she's got any other choice. So you like slow clap, man. You did it. You scared the shit out of somebody enough so they're just blowing it all up, because what else have they got left? That's the problem with that, right? And I agree. I think he's not going to stop because he enjoys the power. I'm going to have my people mess with you and your job, et cetera, right? He can't stop. You can't pump the brakes on that. He enjoys it. It's fun for him, right? And if you're going to scare somebody, man, you might just scare them bad enough that they go, I got nothing else to lose. And they throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. It's ridiculous.
And I mean, this is all stemming out of the recording of Karen's message. That's what kicked this all off. That's what started this. Because they're trying to blame Meredith for leaking that. And she has been adamant that it was not, in fact, her, that he had given it to at least, either played it for or given it to at least 4 people. Jessica Machado said she had heard it before it was ever released in full and wanted permission to play it. So we know he told her about it. We know he told Piss Drinker, Baby Gap, fucking Glare about it. We know he told several other people about it, and that number of people and names changed several times. Meredith claims she knew about it, but never had access to it. So that was the beginning of this. And then all of a sudden, Collar O'Neill, or whatever the hell her name is, I can never remember her name, comes screaming out of the woodwork, just chipping away at Meredith for no apparent reason other than, I'm a very good friend of Aiden's and I don't like him seeing him mistreated that way. This is another one. We've seen this multiple times in the past with way too close friends of his who are, we're just friends. We're just friends. Yeah, bullshit. You're just friends.
And they act as proxies, right?
Yep. Hell, Meredith did that at first.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, it's the same playbook. And I'm, this is really playing with fire, because she was with him for a long time, and they were very involved with the Karen Reed thing together. Now, what he has working at his advantage is that she is seemingly aligned with Karen Reed, so that's going to, I'm sure if there's anything that would lead to criminal exposure for both he and Karen, which I feel confident probably exists, she's probably not going to do anything with that. So I guess that's a silver lining and all that. But he's made it open season for himself. And I mean, he just really pops off too fast with how long has this been going on? What, 4 days by the time she's posting about, filing false DCF reports as a crime. Didn't take him long to do that. He's done that to everybody. I remember when he sent them to me, and I kindly told them to get the heck out of my house, and they never returned. Right? Or when they did it to Leah Janduso, even though she doesn't even have kids. Her boyfriend had a kid. It's just the same step. But he does it so fast that what leverage does he even have left now? Nothing. She's holding all the cards.
So you started that out with something that dovetails a little bit into Hot Mess Mom TV 4117's comment, who says, if he had anything valid on Karen, I have to believe he'd have spilled it by now if he thought it'd serve him. Bear in mind that that is a nuclear option. Karen and Turtle Boy are intertwined on this. I believe the only way you're going to see either one of them go nuclear on the other is if they're at the point where there is one door floating in the water, the Titanic is going down behind them, and one of them desperately needs to be Rose. That is the only reason that's going to happen. If they are vying for a deal in a criminal thing, that's when that will happen. It's not going to happen over these civil cases, I don't think.
I think the only way that honestly he would turn on her is if the prosecution came to him and said, listen, we will give you limited immunity in just the conspiracy case if you testify against her. So pretty much we won't add on a conspiracy charge for you if you testify against her. I think that's the only, and I think that he's got to realize that his other charges aren't going anywhere first, because I think he's still kind of hanging on to the hope that he can just get his charges tossed. And I think that hope is going to be dashed summarily pretty soon. And at that point, we'll see where their investigation into him and Karen go. But as that marches towards, a grand jury, as the Commonwealth has indicated it's marching towards, I think that's the only time that you would see that. And he would have to get, he said as much. He said that like he would take a deal. He would be stupid not to take a deal. And he said, if I need to do something for them in exchange for not going to jail, then I would be stupid to turn it down. Right. Like what, turtle riders out there, what do you think he's talking about? I have to do something for them. What would that something be? Yeah, right.
Bobby Brum, we're beyond the chargers getting dropped phase. Bettero can write all the crayon letters in 72-point font he wants. They're not dropping the charges against the guy at this point. The only charges that are going to get dropped are the ones that already have been, and those were probably not good charges in the first place. I don't think he's getting dismissed. I think this is going to trial. Now, whether he's found guilty or not, I couldn't tell you. I have no trust whatsoever in any jury in Norfolk County or in Massachusetts at this point. I watched the travesty of justice that happened with the first two cases. If they had Walsh's judge on this case, Karen would currently be making license plates in Framingham. But because Canone didn't want to judge, didn't want to take control of her court, didn't want to hold anybody to anything, we ended up with the circus and dog and pony show we got. And they got an incompetent jury. The foreman of the jury went in knowing she was innocent and wanting them to prove to him that she was guilty, and stared at the ceiling through the entire trial, took no notes, didn't pay attention. It was a mess from start to finish. I don't think Aiden's going to get that.
I don't either. I think that, and also he's not Karen Reed, and he doesn't have the machine that Karen Reed has behind her. He can't even get really any news coverage. I know it bothers him a lot. The news media does not care. He's not really seen as any time that he has popped up in the media, and it's been limited, but mentioned in a documentary or mentioned on Dateline or Court TV, he's always cast as the villain. Yeah, I know. He's always, but they always put him in as the villain. He's never the hero that he thinks that he is. That's probably not great. Versus Karen Reed was able to hide behind him and be the damsel in distress heroine. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have the attention that she had. He's very good at alienating himself. He is doing horrible things to all. And that's the other thing too, is like, most of the time when Aiden lashes out and has these huge blowups, it's with people who are previously pretty close to him. That kind of shows you who he is, right? It kind of shows you who he is.
And again, his behavior over the last 5 days, I love this for him, that if he wants positive news coverage, it's not how you get it.
Mm.
I mean, even what's her name? The girl with the close cropped hair that desperately wants to be Rachel Madcow when she grows up. She's backed away from him. She's like, if it has nothing to do with the queer community or downtown Boston lifestyle, it's not my job to report on it, when she was all over it before.
Right. It's lost its luster for sure. And what remains is starting to look pretty ugly. Oh, thank you for bringing this up too, Shannon, because that's the other thing is, what do you guys think about the double charges?
That's all I've heard, is that it's occurring and that it's happened before. It's been a complaint.
No, we knew that years ago. Somebody tried to cancel Turtle Club when he turned evil. They tried to cancel it. They had to actually go to their credit card and go, you need to stop paying this because I've hit the cancel thing like 5 times and it keeps billing me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This is, but like, so, I'm just curious why it keeps happening. Because, like, I was thinking about this objectively, right? Lydia, you'll probably be with me on this one, right? So, how the fuck would he not notice that people were getting charged for his memberships up to 5 different times a month? Okay, he's not blogging that much anymore. He barely writes blogs. He streams himself on a non-crisis basis anyway 2 times a week. Obviously right now he needs his emotional support streams every day, but usually, like, this whole time it's been like 2 times a week. So, like, what is he doing in his day that he can't check his billing and make sure that his generous benefactors are not getting swindled out of 5 times what they agreed to pay?
Yeah,
Right.
I really wonder about the mechanism of the payment.
I just don't see any good excuse for it. Like, I mean,
No.
apparently he spends a lot of time jerking off on his landlord's floor and watching football and smoking pot like a grown up, per his own recitation. But I don't understand what is taking up all of his time that he can't sort his billing issues out, and that it needs, I mean, like, and I don't understand, like, where these people that are popping up. And I originally I was like, oh, there's like 3 of them. And then I looked down the comments thread and I was like, oh, there's a lot of them saying like, yeah, happened to me too. Were they messaging like support trying to work this out, or did they just let it happen? Because I don't know. But like that's crazy to me too, that these people are just letting it happen to them pretty much.
Right. But do you know the method? Like, is it Zelle? Is it Venmo? Is it?
No. I know that he's been banned for fraud from most payment platforms. So like he lost his PayPal, he lost his Venmo. I think he might have lost his Stripe. I know that at one point like Cash App was pretty much his only option, because and I'll pull the clips on all this for my mega film, right? Because he literally said at one point that he lost his payment processors for fraud reports. So I think that's a clue.
I would also suggest if anyone here ever gets the wild hair to Cash App him anything, make sure you use an isolated account that doesn't have any of your real information on it, because he will keep that. And if you say something bad about him, he will use it.
The Big Fish 100, I'm assuming this is another turtle rider, has come in and said, yes, you have to cancel your credit card to get it to stop. It's impossible through the website, which I'm just questioning whether that's by design. Like I heard him make an outlandish claim the other night that it cost him $3,500 a month to host his website. It's a GoDaddy site hosted by WordPress, just for anyone who's not aware of that. So I don't even know what one would be spending $3,500 a month hosting on WordPress. But even still, you would think that if he was spending that much, that you would be able to use his website, not get AIDS on your computer, and cancel your membership if you so choose. So it makes me wonder if it's intentional. But you know, he's clearly swindling people here. We should find out who the payment processor is. Like, if you're getting double, triple charged, you should go to his payment processor, because I was actually kind of shocked to see how many people that's happening to, and that's straight up theft. Like that's not cool.
Well, RP708, yeah, I'm sure Kiwi Farms probably isn't that expensive to run, because it doesn't actually push all that much data. If anybody's gone to Turtle Boy's blog and managed not to have it give COVID cancer AIDS to their computer and crash it the minute that 11,000 pop-ups load up on the screen when you try and scroll it, he's pushing so much data through that. That's probably what is costing him, is the way his site is set up and how much crap it pushes onto your computer every time you look at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe. I think he's lying about his. That's the thing too. Is like there's no accountability. He's raised all this money.
Everything.
He's raised all this money for his legal defense. It comes out that the bills are actually paid. Then he backpedals. This is all during his meltdown too, guys. Like this is how bad it's gotten for him. So he's confronted by Meredith with the fact that like she was there when he paid off his legal bills, but he's still begging for money. So then he tries to say that he has spent more than the 200,078, whatever, however much, almost $300,000 that he has raised, that he spent more than that, and he's just recouping it. I'm going to press X to doubt, just like I press X to doubt on the cost of his website. He's just swindling people. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a spouse with a job anymore. This is his only income, is just shit posting online all day. And he's not even earning it anymore, because he streams himself twice a week and then blogs maybe once a month. Like, what the fuck is this guy even doing? And even with all that free time, I guess he can't take his dick out of his hand long enough, his words, not mine, to be able to make sure that his generous benefactors, his supporters here, the people that are spending insanely, like, just inflated membership costs as it is, by the way. I think last time it was like, is it like $50 a month or something crazy like that? Like, who the fuck's yeah, it's insane. But like, not only is he ripping them off in that regard, but he's letting them get charged 75 times a month too. It's insane.
Well, I mean, maybe he's just trying to be like his idol with the leaky butthole. I mean, she was taking money hand over fist, and now it's coming out that her lawyers were pro bono. The cost of the experts wasn't nearly as much as they said. And according to what I've seen on Twitter, I don't know if anybody can confirm or deny this, but she spent almost $1 million putting everybody up at the Omni, even though she and Yannetti lived less than 20 minutes away.
Right.
Mm. Whole bunch of horse shit.
You could do that in a Red Roof. You don't have to be at the most expensive hotel in Boston with the most prestigious thing. And then she's holding, like, right before the trial, you remember the little pep talk that creepy Bob Alessi was out there giving all of the diehard turtle riders who got, or the free Karen readers who got selected to go in and see her the night before the trial started. They're having a damn party with the audience in there. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. Yeah, the soy sauce ferret. Yeah, he was running a whole thing there.
Oh, Turtle is Turtle still good with Rakita Law? Who even wants Rakita Law anymore? Like, I mean, that's the thing. For somebody who pops off and calls everyone he doesn't like a child abuser, because that's Aiden's like number one favorite thing is like as soon as you run afoul of him, you're a child abuser, right? Doesn't matter, whether you've actually abused a child in your life or not, you are now a child abuser. But he can hang out with Rakita Law. Rakita Law is like 9-year-old tested positive for cocaine.
Yep.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they
kicked in
Rakita's door and found his wife and their mistress, who he had taken from the steel toe guy, like zonked out on the floor with drugs laying all over the place and a kid crawling around. Rakita's not somebody to hold up as
everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Those are Aiden's peers, though. That's his buddy, his rackets.
Rakita started huffing his own farts and believing the smell was good.
And he was so many other
people. Yeah, but not that deviant. Like so many other people, when he got into it with Steel Toe, is when it started to fall down. When he took what should have been an internet beef and it got personal between them and they started trying to steal each other's spouses, is when that all went in the toilet.
Rakita is I would say that Aiden is probably at like 50% Rakita right now. He's going in that direction. Remember when Rakita got the blowjob?
So did Aiden.
Oh yeah, he already has, hasn't he? That's right. Lindsay told
Aiden, I got a cramp in my leg. Hold on, I got a cramp.
Oh my god, what is that? That's the most foul, disgusting. Like, what is it? Nan Gallagher's been talking about stream rape. If anything, I would say that forcing people to watch you get filleted without their consent or even just conscious knowledge, that's what stream rape is, right?
I'm going to choose to believe it was a leg cramp. Thank you very much. And Primeval, I read your comment there in the voice of Stitches. I want you to know that.
Well, there's another time.
I love it.
There's another
Cyrus.
Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Takes me back to the work site. Big time.
There's another time that we know he got it because he came out and bragged about it. He told everybody that that's what was going on. And we all went back and looked at the video and went, holy shit, that is what we were seeing.
That is foul. That is just foul. It's just like, and again, I'm not a Puritan. I'm not like a repressed person. I know what sex is. I've done it before.
Listen,
but
hold on. Let me just say this.
I know what it is.
I do. I know how it works, you guys. But why subject strangers to your weird perversions?
When he does his little Operation Snowflake shout outs at the beginning, and he's like, and $20, Bob says, could you please wish my 9-year-old a happy birthday and his first day of school? Yes, little Joey. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good day. Oh
my God. He probably has done something sexually deviant at the same time as wishing some random turtle kid a happy birthday.
That's the thing. Like, these people are like, my son's 11 and he loves you. Which part did he love? Did he love the discussion about cats and dogs? Or was it when he was pretending to have sex with a Raggedy Andy doll? Which of that did your child find the most entertaining, sir?
Yes. If you're like proud, okay, first off, if your kids are watching Turtle Boy, there's something wrong with you. If you're proud and announcing it publicly, then you probably shouldn't have that kid anymore. I mean, I'm not saying I would call DCS on you, but
I mean, my mind,
what the fuck?
In my mind, letting your kid watch Turtle Boy is akin to letting Tinkle Tom give your kid candy. Just don't do it.
Totally. Yes, it is definitely.
I would take the candy before letting my kid watch fucking Turtle Boy, honestly.
No, it's equal. It's both planet, no fucking way. It's not.
I honestly, do you remember when, I'm not going to name him, but somebody porn bombed him Do you remember this? What,
with
like
his
the first,
own with
with
his own
Oh,
genitalia.
yeah,
I have heard of this.
This is a great story,
Yeah.
guys. Everyone but Lydia is gonna love it. so
Emotional
when
damage.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna early on in the hackening when Aiden's Jo video got leaked or whatever, it got leaked hard. Like I got like a bunch of it went really fast. It spread, so like it became like a meme, especially like the faces he was making. But one day somebody went up on his stream, and again, I'm not going to put the guy's name out there. Everybody who's around knows who it was. He's a legendary porn bomber. But he goes up on Aiden's stream, and he manages to get on there, and he porn bombs Aiden with Aiden's own Jo video. Right? It was fucking humiliating. Awful. So that happens, and Aiden, of course, goes into this whole tirade about it. But he can't just come out and be like, "That was really embarrassing," right? That would be human. Instead, he's got to go left field and go, there were children watching. They abused children. They subjected children. And it's like, if your kid's watching Turtle Boy, like that is not their first time seeing pornography. I'm just saying that right now. Like that's you're not watching your kid enough if your kid is watching Turtle Boy, because this is the same guy who like went through painstaking details about his sex life with Meredith O'Neill like 2 nights ago, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that they had kids at the courthouse around that deviant, like, oh my God.
No, it's more than questionable.
The granddaughter said, I love Turtle Boy. Yeah, I mean, that's just like, it's crazy. What part? What part does your kid like?
Exactly.
The episode when he talks about how, raping a 13-year-old is a kink and lots of people have kinks and, maybe
like doing it with dead bodies and shit.
Yeah, right.
That's something that your kids should be listening to, right? Absolutely.
Some people like to have a gun to their head when they have sex. He actually said that.
No,
they don't.
This is how I know. You
Can
remember when he got
Muppets
caught?
Back on, Mom? Like,
remember when he got caught? That person, I think he had blogged about them, called him, and said, "In all honesty, I am ready to self-delete. This is just, I can't take this anymore. You're lying about everything." And he said, "Yeah, I'll fire up a live stream if you promise to come do it live." And then the backlash for that was actually bad enough that he said he was going to see somebody and stop streaming for a little while. And people threw money at him to help pay for his mental health bills. And then he went to Disney World. But he didn't see anybody. If he had ever seen a therapist for any of this shit, either A, he's the classic narcissist who lies to a therapist and then claims that they've been given the all clear. But if any of this stuff had come out to a therapist, he'd have a room up at Bridgewater, and where you can't move the furniture, everything's bolted down, and they watch you pee.
No, you have to be homicidal or suicidal. And no matter how many times he threatens suicide, he's never been suicidal in his life. I'm telling you that right now. He just pulls it out to guilt people. Again, like I know this because I tried to quit his blog. Not even like, we were barely friends. I wouldn't even I think he thought we were friends. At least that's what he told people afterwards. I never considered him a friend. I just worked for him, but I would try to quit his blog and he would be like, "Oh, sometimes I just get so sad. I need to see a doctor. What's the point of living? I'm going to lose my house." And you'd be like, "All right, fine. I'll help you through this, dude." Like, cause nobody wants that on their hands. And then come to find out when females who are dating him try to break up with him, he does the same fucking thing. Right. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm like I touched on this earlier. I'm glad that Meredith caught him making his little hostage video that he would be able to use down the road and blew it up on him. Because that's exactly the same video we saw with Lindsay when he did the weird hoodie video in the dark. It's the same damn video. It's the stone faced. I don't know what to do. I've been emotionally abused. Blah 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 blah. And then 30 seconds later, he's being the abuser. He has that ability to turn that on and off at will, and it's terrifying.
Jelly Belly Butter says, just as Aiden loves sharing pics of himself with women, he loves oversharing with his audience. It's a form of exhibitionism. I just don't feel like the internet needs to be subjected to his deviance and kinks, though. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to be subjected to some other random fucking weirdos fetishes.
Yeah,
I would assume he does it because he hopes no one likes it. Like he's upsetting your day. I think he's into that.
I do not know how he gets away with what he gets away with on YouTube as far as describing this shit in detail. Channels get taken down for much less than that, but somehow, pardon me, he is absolutely bulletproof when it comes to being able to do whatever the hell he wants. He doxes with impunity. He gets extremely graphic and nothing works.
How many more days do you think he's gonna go? Do you think he's gonna go live straight to Friday?
Oh my god.
I think so.
I don't have the energy for all that. I'm glad that like the transcripts just got updated. They're pretty up to date.
Yes.
We got the archive. Like I'm good with that most of the time. I can't sit there and just watch him. Like at some points it's entertaining and then it gets gross and then it's depressing and then it's infuriating and like it's too many emotions. And it's too long. Like, I mean, we're already going
It
kind of
is.
long. We're at 2 hours now. I'll probably cut it in the
Oh,
next
shit.
30 minutes. Right. It's fine, but like
Yeah,
who's got friggin' 5 hours a day to do that shit? Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's why
I
he's
don't
only
know.
got 7,000 people watching. He had Brandy Magnoli on, who was apparently the producer of a documentary or something.
What
I don't know.
documentary?
I don't know who the Karen Reed one, maybe. I don't know who this broad is, but he had some woman on with him. I wonder if she knows what he was saying 48 hours ago. Probably not.
I wonder if she's gonna send him nudes.
Okay, let's see who that is.
That's how you know I like you. Holy shit.
Yeah, what he
That's
did to
such a
that
weird
Carol,
thing
I
to
agree
say.
that
What the
the Carol
fuck?
woman, that was tough. You know what I mean? It's like the thing is, like all this baggage, he knows this about the women before he starts seeing them or shortly after. He makes a conscious decision to continue to see them and then weaponizes it later. It's pretty fucked up. Like, you know?
Yeah, there's a pattern for sure. I mean, I haven't been aware of it as long as you have, Kate, but I mean, even in the time I've been around it, I've seen it. I've seen
Oh,
cycles
no.
repeat, and I can only imagine how many times you've seen it. It's
So
crazy as hell.
corrosive, I'm reading the chat and it was Boston Brandy. Boston Brandy came on to
Okay,
tell him
my
to
bad.
shut the fuck up. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I was reading the subtitles because I can't play it while I'm on here.
You're giving him too much credit and legitimacy. Of course, it's just somebody he's
I'm
fighting
sorry.
with. Oh, I just got.
What?
I said I just got sent a video clip of it. I obviously can't watch it because I'm live right now. But somebody just texted me. Barb says Meredith was useful to him. She's a professional hacker. Barb, she does not strike me as a professional hacker. And as Boomer and Corrosive can certainly attest to, we've known a hacker or two in our time. Like, she's not it.
Yeah.
She's not
No
it.
one.
She's
Here's
not
the
it.
thing. Here's the thing. No one has to hack Turtle Boy.
Mm-mm.
You don't. He gives everything away. He puts his accounts up and his passwords on his live streams because he's all gilled out and just throwing stuff up on screen. He shows his camera roll. He hands his account lists out to women so that they can help him trash somebody because it's 3 o'clock in the morning and somebody made a tweet that he doesn't like. He sends stuff to people to brag. He gets this cluster of people around him who are his new best friends, and he info dumps to them to show off how powerful he is. That you don't have to hack him. He just gives it out. Then they invariably what?
He screen shares his X account that opens up for debate of his proclivities. His For You category.
Yeah, but this is what he does. And then one of those people who's his new best friend says, I think you made a mistake last night. He goes, you know what? Fuck you. Die in a fire.
Right.
Fuck off. Don't watch me anymore. And they go, oh, okay. Well, I know I can find Kate. Here, Kate. Here's all the shit that he gave me.
Barb says public knowledge what she did to her ex-boyfriend. But the thing is, she going off of that affidavit, and again, it's a restraining order affidavit. So like you do have to take everything with a grain of salt on both sides, right? Like accusations are good. But judging from the affidavit, she did not hack her ex-boyfriend. She knew his password because he apparently uses the same password for everything, and she had one of his devices. So she accessed his account using his password. That's not hacking. That's just getting someone's password. No, Barb, she can't get into anything.
No, it was.
Oh my God.
It was like
She
a tablet. She let her kid use or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was literally she just got the password because this guy obviously isn't doing a lot of password switch ups. And like, no, Barb, she cannot get into anything. She listens to Taylor Swift and has 1 million cats. Stop it right now. Okay, stop it. She's not a hacker.
And her decor matches her Yeti mugs. I mean, or Stanleys or whatever the hell they are.
Stanleys are the big thing now.
She's the infamous hacker known as 4chan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
No, but again, you don't need to hack Aiden. If you are in a relationship with Aiden, he shows off everything and he puts you to work for him. He gives you full access to everything in his life, and then he invariably turns that into shit.
Lydia brought up a good point last Spaces. Like, if she was a hacker, they would have hacked me. Yeah, that motherfucker's been having his tiny little lawyer scrawl out letters demanding my cell phone for like 2 years now. Okay. If Maris could just hack into my phone, they would have done that.
Yep. No, it totally would have been you.
And you know what? I gotta say, at least I don't have anything tremendously embarrassing on my phone. Like, you won't find any porn searches or any plotting, planning, underhanded shit. The only thing I can say is I got some weird Google searches because I have some intrusive thoughts. So you will see Google searches like, what if my dog swallows a lighter?
Right.
Like that, just like weird stuff that I have anxiety about, and I Google myself into like, pacifying myself with Google searches. Is TV's documentary still on? I mean, no, I think it's a pretty safe bet that unless Karen Reed signs on that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just read Alpha Fox Adams comment. I'm sorry.
There may be a documentary about Turtle Boy, but I don't think it's going to show him. The only way it's going to show him walking out of court, throwing his hands up in the air in his ill-fitting clothing with one hand in the I love you sign and the other hand in the secret devil sign. And then it's going to pause, turn black and white, and then the film's going to melt. And then it's going to go the tragic downfall of Aiden Kearney, the blogger known as Turtle Boy.
But I am going to produce a Turtle Boy documentary, just so that we're clear. I've been working on that.
It's a massive undertaking, man.
It's my life's work. I'm just kidding now. Someone asked, how many times have I looked up what Cyrax is up to? Not recently. I've been really like consumed with this, the whole like the case thing, and now Turtle Boy. It's been definitely this is what I've been following the most. And I was hoping the case would resolve with a verdict, and it just hasn't. The other thing about Cyrax is like, it got kind of dark for me with like the cement deliveries to his house and everything. Like, I like a little light trolling, but I'm kind of a pussy. So like when it like went over into like straight up like life ruining, like it just got too much for me,
I don't know. I think him getting pounded into the concrete and that whole part of the story.
Rest in peace, Marty. You were a
shitbag,
but that doesn't mean you need to pass away.
Well, I'm proud of it. I am canon in the Cyrax universe, and that's a crowning achievement for me. I have absolutely no qualms with my role within the universe, and I'm glad that I might come back at some point too. But it's like y'all got to chill on him a little bit, because like I don't want to like completely destroy another human being, no matter how vile they could be. And don't get like Cyrax is a pedophile, so
there's other cows out there. There's Wings. There's Boogie. There's a bunch of people you can go mess with that aren't.
You guys are really missing out on the Turtle Boy trade. Like, I know that sometimes he's just kind of horrifying and mean and like kind of just a douche, like a garden variety douche. But underneath there is a lol cow. This guy will get up and talk about masturbating on an old lady's floor in front of like thousands of people. Like, I mean, like it's there. You just got to reach out and take it. He's very suggestible. He falls for anything. I sent him a text from a burner number once, and just one text convinced him that he was going to be arrested imminently, and he went live about it. Like instant reactions,
I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that, yeah, if somebody puts out like a video or even a comment that gets 10 views, he'll read it. He will. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yes, Big Fish. Cyrax in Ohio. I am canon in the Cyrax universe. I exposed him as a pedophile. I am not ashamed of that. I was in a Turkey Tom film.
65 CJ55. The Masshole C-130 got a recall from Boeing due to that bad door actuator issue, and it has been sitting, waiting for that part to come in. As soon as we get it, we're gonna hopefully use it again. But for now, it is grounded, waiting for repair and then FAA inspection.
EM Du Bois says, I mean, even if he didn't know it was a troll, he thought he was putting out a hit on you. He was willing to have people killed to protect his pedophile secrets. That's no holds barred territory for me. Actually, a hit for me and my children. He was going to blow up the house with my whole family in it. Just so there'd be no witnesses. Right.
Wasn't snakes supposed to come flying out of your
snakes?
That was the second one. That was at first. He was gonna rig up my. He wasn't gonna do it. He was gonna have someone else rig my oven so that when I opened my door, I would blow up like a cartoon. That's why, you can't go that hard on the guy, because he honestly thought that a plausible scenario to getting rid of me is that you could somehow rig up my electric oven to blow up my house by opening a door.
Right.
And then the second plot was that they were going to mail me a box of venomous snakes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that was going to kill me. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, Meredith is definitely not an ingenue. Nobody's claiming she's an ingenue.
I don't think she's an ingenue.
No, she does have shark eyes. You're right.
Yeah. Don't take my empathy and sympathy as like it's a free pass. Like, I mean, yeah, just the sheer amount of sock accounts that woman was rocking. Holy shit, right? Like, don't get me wrong. This is not like I'm not Turtle Boy, so I don't see people as black and white. I don't I feel bad for her with what she's going through with Turtle Boy, because I've seen it. I've been the recipient of this. Like, I understand what it feels like. I've seen how it affects a lot of different people throughout the years. I feel bad for her in that regard, but I'm not going to prop her up and be like, well, Meredith is a patron saint now, because she's not, right? Like, she's not. So I'm not saying that at all. I'm not taking her under my wing, but it's hard not to feel bad for her and understand that, in this, she is a victim in this particular.
Yeah. I'd rather see different kind of justice, right? Whatever you can get done without calling, the child services and all that kind of other goofy shit. Right.
Just let her go away. You know what I mean? Like, let her just whatever. No, I guarantee that however unlikable she was with Turtle Boy, she will be exponentially more without him, at least for a period of time. Like, nobody ever suffers from separating from that guy. So I don't know, just whatever. The thing is, you think you know somebody because you observe them on social media in a certain context, in a certain situation, and you don't know. So I don't know Meredith. I know that I've seen things on social media that she has done that I am not impressed with, but I don't know her, right? And so I think that's what really bothers me about the whole Turtle Boy treatment too, is it's nobody actually knows this woman. And the only lens that now she is being viewed with is this fucking sociopath that's out for blood because she knows where the bodies are buried. That's not fair to me. I really care a lot about fairness and equity, and this is just not it's not a fair situation. She doesn't have a mob, she doesn't have the same sort of power that he's coming at her with, although she is holding her own. I will give her that. And she's having somebody else define who she is to a group of strangers. That just is intrinsically unfair to me. I don't like it. It doesn't matter to me who it is, really. I don't like when it happens. I mean, Aiden, he's responsible for his own image, right? Everybody gets to watch him several times a week and his antics and everything else. You can make a pretty fair assessment of what a horrible person he is, not because of what other people say about him, but about what he shows about himself. Meredith hasn't really had that opportunity. She's always been the vacant looking, smiling blonde in the pantsuits behind him at court.
Right. And she disappeared. As far as I was concerned, she had dropped off, but I didn't see her looking for attention. I could be wrong. I wasn't paying attention. Right.
I
But
have a hard time believing that somebody like that disappears truly, though. I think they just put on another costume and they continue doing what they do behind the scenes, and that may have been part of the
fair
problem.
enough. No, fair enough. Fair enough. But I'm also not in on the whole like mobbing up on somebody. That's I disagree with that. But
I'm a sucker for
yeah,
an
no,
underdog,
I'm
dude.
not
I really
stunting
am.
for it. Like, what's that?
I said I'm a sucker for an underdog. I really am. I don't like the
Yeah,
power
no, me
balance.
too. It's not a big up to say I don't like. It's the same like a fight. Like if you see like 2, 3, 4 people punching the shit out of one person, isn't your instinct to be like, come on, that's a little asymmetrical, right? Like I don't even know who did what, but that's crazy. It's the same kind of
Yeah.
thing. Mobbing up's a little overkill. Not saying she doesn't deserve for people who she's harmed to be able to take their shit on her, whether it's legally or however they deal with her. I don't know, but
I don't even know if she's
it's
broken any laws or any legal
I don't
recourse there.
either.
Yeah.
I just don't like the mobbing up and the calling of child services and shit. That's it. I just don't co-sign that. But like, she's not innocent. No. And that's a fair point, Carosa, that yeah, maybe she disappeared into the, void to keep doing it. I mean, yeah,
Who knows?
that's probable. Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
There are better ways to deal with it.
We like the whitewashing accounts, and you can see it happen because a lot of these people aren't that good at it. At the height of the trial, you could watch it happen. Kate would make a post, I would make a post, somebody would make a post, and you get a comment. No, Turtle Boy said blah 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 blah, and that comment would appear on 15 different posts. And then 2 minutes later, another account would say exactly the same thing on all those posts. And then 15 minutes later, or 5 minutes later, another account would say exactly. Clearly one person just cycling through accounts, cycling through posts, just wallpaper, billboard, wallpaper, billboard. That's what they did. I'd be willing to bet Aiden's got a standing by for 5,000 viewers every stream he does at this point, because it's numbers, it's numbers, it's numbers. It worked for the defense. It worked for the getting people out. It worked for the making money for everybody. And he's not going to let that go. He's not going to stop doing it.
No doubt.
I do want to take a moment to acknowledge Boomer for the musical masterpiece. I Can't Go Back. That was really good.
Oh yes, the B-Dog release. Yes.
Oh,
I tried
I find myself walking around the house humming it.
Oh God, no, dude. That's fucking terrible.
It's got a catchy hook, dude.
Oh shit.
This is a good story. God. Thank you. Said had wild thoughts, walked into big stores like Walmart without pants. I lost everything. Then on top of it, got arrested twice for going number 2 outside and catching my waist with my bare hands. This is Aiden Carney's future. Thank you.
Wow.
Vinny, yeah.
Damn.
That's what's going to happen.
That's wild, man.
I'm now reading down that person's posts. This is kind of a wild read here.
Kate, did you see that? Did you know that Meredith was about to betray Aiden like Sean did at the time the Proton emails were sent out? I don't even understand. Let's say like she did leak that recording. Okay, let's just say that she did. Okay, and obviously that story got out with the blessing of Karen Reed, who is the aggrieved party in that scenario. She's the one that was recorded without her knowledge or consent. And so, why is it such a huge deal? It's the truth. In that case, it's the truth. There's a recorded phone call that Aiden recorded without, getting permission or letting Karen Reed know. It clearly is unflattering to both of them. And this is in the context of them being 2 integral figures in a pretty big murder case that ended in an acquittal that is now moving over to an investigation into cooperative witness intimidation. I would say that recording, number 1, is 100% of public interest. I believe that the existence of the recording is certainly of interest to Karen Reed. So she was alerted, as I think anybody with a conscience would do. And number 2, it's like, why do you want this hidden? Like, if her biggest sin is hiding something that shouldn't be hidden, or not refusing to hide something that shouldn't be hidden in the first place, what's the big deal? Again, if it was a recorded audio of me and Jennifer McCabe, everybody on Free Karen Reed would be clamoring for it. You wouldn't think that the person that released that recording would be a villain. They would be a hero in that scenario. You got to ask yourself, why don't I feel that way about Aiden and Karen, right? That's what I'm saying, Brittany. Release the full call. Rip the Band-Aid off. We deserve to know.
I think Donald Holcomb's comment is probably why we're not seeing it. It's probably including the both, hence the different edits. You know what I mean? Like the choice cuts. Like we all want to hear the 30 minutes, but I bet you, man, they don't want that getting out. Neither side. Mm-mm.
So, Krista, my crazy neighbor was actually evicted finally yesterday. She squatted until the very last moment. Yeah, it's wild. And I guess she wouldn't tell my landlord where she was going. And it's like, I can understand the frustration, but at the same time, like, who's going to recover any money from that scumbag? No one. Like, she spent her time living in North Attleboro, largely unemployed. Like, when she first moved here, she was working at the CVS down the street from my house because I go there a lot. I like the CVS, right? It's convenient, whatever. And I would see her and she would say hi to me and it would like, who the fuck is that? Oh, that's the lady that lives upstairs. She didn't last very long there because it turns out she was stealing from their drawer. So she got fired. So she was employed for maybe a couple months and then she went unemployed. So for the remainder of her tenancy, she was upstairs, not paying her rent, walking around because she doesn't have a car. I don't know if she's a driver's license. Fun fact, actually, she hit someone with her car once. There's a police report. But so she doesn't have a car or anything. So she would walk around town and go into stores and steal. Or she would go buy food on food stamps and then return it for cash. I guess that's something that can be done at customer service. I know these things because I know a couple gas stations, some people that work there, because I've been here forever, that would complain about, they knew she was stealing, but it's like, what are you going to do? And then I know a lot of people at the Stop and Shop down the street, because obviously my family eats as well as I do some volunteer work that requires me to be at Stop and Shop quite a bit. So they were arguing with her at the customer service line at some point because they figured out what she was doing and didn't want to do it for her. And she couldn't be a normal person and just be like, oh, I'm caught, time to go. She would like sit there and argue with them. So that's pretty much all she did while she was in North Attleboro is sit around unemployed, breed cats and then kill them. And not pay her rent. Yeah. No, she had like 4 or 5. This is actually how we got to talking is she had cats upstairs and obviously like I'm a sucker for animals. I think that's pretty clear. And so she was telling me about how she was going to have kittens, but she didn't have anywhere to put them. And I was like, oh, I can find homes for kittens, no problem. I know a ton of people. So she had the kittens. I got a home for one of the kittens, and then she had another kitten that ended up having a medical issue that I took the cat to the vet for. Great. And then I learned that there were a bunch of cats upstairs and that none of them were fixed. So they were spraying all over the unit, which created such a problem that it actually drove other tenants out because it smelled so bad. I'm insulated on the first floor, so I didn't really get it, thank God. And then when she would have the litters, the cats would just die, like the kittens would die. And like one day, I didn't even know her that well, but she came knocking on my door in the middle of the day on like a Saturday, all freaking out. And I'm like, what is going on? She's like, I tried to text you. And I'm like, oh, my phone's off. What's up? One of the kittens died. What do I do with it? And I'm looking at her like, I don't fucking know. Like, do I look like a veterinarian? Like, I honestly don't know. I've never had an animal die in my house. So like, I don't know who you call when that happens. I would assume that you would just take it to the vet at that point. I don't know, but it was very bizarre. But yeah, that's the neighbor. So she's finally gone though. I have no idea where she went. I don't really care. I'm just glad that she's out because it was uncomfortable living in the same building with her. She was hostile and weird.
Oh, yeah. She was weird as shit.
I had some instances of some vandalism and stuff. Like I'd never called the cops, but like, like obviously I would talk about it with my friends when it would happen. And she would film me. Like I would just be out in the yard with my dogs or something, or like walking the dog around the block, and she would just come around and like film me. And I'm like, well, get the fuck out of here. Like this is my house. Like I don't want to be filmed at home. Stop it.
Was she doing a 1A audit on you? What was going on?
Oh my God, just weird. Or like one time after the tire thing, I had to get tires on my car, and because one tire was cut, I just got 4 new tires. So Andy had to drive me to go pick up my car, and like she walks by us and we're just walking to his car so I can get in and go pick mine up, and she just fucking screams like, you're staring at me, is it gonna scare me? And we just keep walking. I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? And he's like, I don't know, your neighbors are fucking weird. like, I guess so. Right. I guess they are. And then we come back and she's called the police, and the police are like, this lady's crazy. And I'm like, we didn't do anything. And he's like, no, I know. I told her there's no crime here. And, like, how do you know someone's staring at you if they're just walking by? It was fucking bizarre. So I'm glad she's gone. There is nothing more jarring than having to live like in close proximity to a free Karen Reed person, because they're insane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least she was insane enough to perjure herself and lie about that photo that Turtle Boy has even now admitted is fucking real. But we knew it was real when the people in the photo never pushed back and said that's not real. That's your first clue.
Yeah. Metadata would be your second tip off.
But I was arguing with that's criminal. What happened? I mean, like, I got a lot more information about that because she ran her mouth, and I've talked to other people that were kind of involved with the Turtle Boy defense at the time. They paid for a hotel room for her. They gave her rides. They helped her clear up 5 warrants, and they purchased an attorney for her in exchange for writing that affidavit full of perjury. So that's kind of a big deal.
Wow.
That sounds like material, gaining material, whatever you call it, in response for lying and knowingly lying because you never said to her what she claimed you said. Weird.
Right. And it went, and especially because Aiden knew a lot of the stuff. Like, he knew the picture was a lie. He knew the couch was a lie. I've got him on video making fun of me for financing a couch. Joke is on him because then he's acknowledging that he knows that I financed a couch. Like, that it wasn't purchased by Jen McCabe. Like, the whole thing, like, easily disproven lies that they had knowledge ahead of time, or should have had knowledge ahead of time, were lies with tangible rewards attached to it. And as far as like the whole warrant thing, having this woman driven around by Turtle, all that went straight through his defense because his paralegal, Courtney Healy, on behalf of that law firm, was setting this all up for her. So yeah, it's pretty airtight. It's pretty airtight.
To answer the Pats are back, how much did the billboard cost you guys? We guys have literally nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it.
If you actually have a question about that, I would suggest you go over to Kate. This is where you drop the link.
Yeah,
and ask them, since that's who is handling that. It is their deal, not ours.
But I do know that the billboard was actually donated by somebody, so it has nothing to do with the fund.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm not going to say who, but I'll tell you off.
No, obviously. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Sorry, Tracy. I don't know. I almost called her. It's a billboard on Route 1 in Foxborough.
Down by Gillette Stadium, big, beautiful blue billboard.
It is.
A QR code.
It's awesome.
I still think it's dumb to put a QR code on a billboard where most of the people driving by are single occupants in the vehicle trying to take a picture with their phone while they're driving, but it's all the rage these days. So
yeah, it is. Thank you. I loved having you, Jelly's Belly Butter. On that note, we're exactly at the 2.5 hour mark. It's 11:43 p.m.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta get up early because it's a weekday tomorrow. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. Thanks for joining me, Corrosive,
me.
And Boomer, and Lydia, and Gina. Love you guys.
Feels like old times.
I know. Maybe we'll do this more. Maybe I'll set up my little streaming corner again. Just we got some work to do.
Maybe we'll introduce the professor soon. I've cut ties with him.
Oh, you did? All right. Okay. Announcement. We have a new lolcow.
He believes that I'm Gary 9000, and he's telling everybody, which is some BS. And so I told him, if I can't trust him, he can't trust me. That good luck with your channel and stuff.
And somehow I have a wrench in his chat. Yeah.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, you do.
I was getting along with him, but I don't like the way that he treats his lady friend. So yeah, we'll introduce the professor too. That sounds good. But I gotta work on my mega film here. Okay.
All right.
What I do. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.